see. I've tasted what it means. Now nothing else is good enough for me. You're all I need. You're all I need. You're all I need. You're all I need. Oh, I need you. Yeah, I need you. Oh, I need you now. Now I owe it all to you, giving my heart to you, freedom becoming true. Nobody else like you, do what you promised to, and I'm so grateful for you. I'm so grateful for your love. I'm so grateful, grateful, grateful. I'm so grateful. I need you in my life. Grateful, grateful,
What's up, everybody? We are live in the building, in the Lion's Den, and it is a New Jersey governor's election night. We're going to talk about everything that's going on. We appreciate everybody. If you're joining us, if you're jumping in the chat right now, make sure you hit that like button, share this video with your friends. Let the algorithm get going. We're going to hit the intro. You're watching Young Lion TV. Let's go.
young lion, everywhere I look, they dying. Everywhere I look, they dying. Young lion, everywhere I look, they dying. Everywhere I look, they dying. Young lion, won't you get up and start fighting? Everywhere I look, they're hiding. Young lion.
Yes, sir. You know what that sound means. It is time to be live with the Young Lions on the Young Lion TV podcast. We are here in the Lion's Den like we do it every Tuesday night. We do this completely live. Shout out to our boy Adam in the chat. We haven't seen you in a while, man. Shout out to you. He said blessings, Young Lions. Blessings to you as well. And if you're new here, this is a podcast that we started a while ago because we like to have conversations. And we've always had these conversations as men, just sitting around talking. We used to go late night after the gym and be sitting in the parking lot talking about life until 3 a.m. And, we decided to just start doing it on camera because we noticed that we didn't see a lot of content of men having conversations, and we would be in circles where it would be hard to have conversations that were real substantive, and they would just be kind of surface level talk about sports or cars or, what you're doing around the house, things like that. So, this is why we started this podcast. And through doing it, it has helped us grow as men, just hashing out ideas as a community, as brothers, even as sons and fathers and husbands, all that stuff. And it's been good to have, women and stuff be able to chime in and see these conversations as well and see how men can kind of hash out these ideas and talk about culture. We talk about life, community, faith, relationships, all that stuff. So, if that's something that you want to get behind and support what we do, you can share this video, like we said, with your friend and hit the like button. That's the easiest way. But we do have a Patreon where you can go on over and become a member. That link is in the description. Hit us up over there. Join the community. Join the pride. And support it so we can keep this thing going. We also have a merch store on our website. It is jatan.com/shop. That link is in the description as well, where you can get our merch and all of our equipment and everything like that. You can walk behind there if you want. And you can't. We have the merch on the Young Lion TV shop there. And also we have a Cash App. That's what I was thinking about. If you want to just support and throw some donations to the cause, you can hit the Cash App and support us that way as well. Shout out to all the people. If you're watching on Rumble, Twitch, YouTube, X, Facebook, all of the places, make sure you guys drop a comment. Let us know where you're at. Let us know you're here. And join in on the conversation. When we're talking about the topics, you can join in. Drop your comments in there. We will read them and also challenge us, ask questions, whatever. But without further ado, you see him sitting next to me. We have in the building with us, of course, he's my brother. He's my Asian brother, the coolest Asian in the podcast land. Mrs. Simone Chang sitting there next to me. And you know what that means. When he's sitting next to me and I'm not in the shop by myself, you know that means we got a full house. Full house. We're like Danny Tanner over here. We got a full house. It's a rare condition. Oh, no, that's Family Matters. That's Family
Whatever
Matters.
happened to the village?
Yeah.
That's how close they sound.
Because the same
It's
guy,
the same guy.
the same guy wrote them, and the same guy sang all of them.
I think like he did like 4 or 5 sitcoms.
He did all of the Step by Step.
Yeah.
He did Family Matters. He did Full House. He did one of the he did a bunch. But anyway, he's Simone Chang in the building. And then in the other shot, we got my big brother. He just got here, just pulled in, and he's sitting down now, getting his in-ears ready. But he's everybody's big brother. If you know him, you know that he is the preacher, the teacher, people reacher, Mr. Jacob Eugene Evans III, coming in straight from soccer practice or a game or something. I know you coming from some soccer thing.
Yeah.
Straight from it. And of course, back. First time in a while.
Nobody demanded it.
He's been missing.
Not by popular demand.
He's back by a popular demand.
Nobody asked for me to come. I just showed up.
Yeah, you've been working night and day, working at day, working at night, trying to get all these jobs done. He is Mr. Build Right in the building. Mr. James Garcia, my brother-in-law. Yeah. The most confusing man, half black, half Indian with the Spanish last name in the building. Welcome back. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Good to be back.
And of course, holding it down, producing this evening, she is our mother. We love her very much, and she is switching the cameras, bringing up the clips, helping us produce this podcast. She is Miss Angelique Lopez over there. And we're going to get this thing rolling, man. How's everybody been doing?
Who are you?
It's election night. Oh, yeah. I am. This just happened at the show over the weekend. I am the guy that everybody thinks they know from somewhere or thinks they've seen before.
Somebody did that?
Yes. And
Yeah,
I just go along with it.
You gotta embrace it.
I just go along with it because I don't even want to make it
I
awkward.
I think we met that dude before though.
Nah, but he, like I said, if we did meet him before, like you're saying, it wasn't when I had a beard. So I'm telling you, he thinks I'm somebody else. Because remember the dude that came into the green room? He was actually at the D'Angelo tribute downstairs.
Oh yeah.
He came into the green room and he looked at me. He's like, "What's up, man?" He shook my hand. I was like, "What's up?" Just like he swore he knew me. You know what I mean?
The guy with the red hair?
No.
No.
You weren't.
What?
Oh, no, because there was a guy in there.
Yeah, that dude looked familiar to me.
He did look familiar, but like I said, he looked familiar from like back in the day, like when we were very in our R&B stuff,
Well, Jamie,
huh?
Remember I was talking about November? How many years now?
What about it?
I've been here 3 years in November
Oh,
doing the podcast.
okay.
No, I'm saying it's 3 years in November.
Clap it up for
Wow.
3 years in November.
Hey, that time flew by.
It's been 3 years. Wow.
It's been 3 years since she's been sitting in that seat doing a great job. We appreciate you,
Amazing
Mom,
job.
helping us out, keeping the ball rolling here. Probably you must be our longest running producer on this podcast.
Definitely.
Yes. That's awesome. That is a great thing. And for you to be, of the boomer generation, handling this tech the way you do, we're proud of you.
Had a lot of glitches, but
It's all right. You do a great job. But yeah, anyway, coming off of the show, we were just talking about it. Coming off the show this weekend, we had a great show at City Winery. Shout out to all the people that came out.
Yes,
we had a
thank you.
great time.
Thank you for showing up.
Yeah, man, it was beautiful to see people come out, and support what we do. And
Old friends we haven't seen
Yeah.
in a long time. Surprise.
Yeah. Yeah, we got surprised by a few people. Some family came out that we weren't expecting. It was cool, man.
Yes.
Had a good time, the City Winery vibe. We probably will be back there at some point soon, but yeah.
Know who we didn't see there?
Who?
I didn't see James.
We didn't see James there.
No, man. Dude,
James is working probably.
yeah,
James has
working.
been busy,
no,
man.
no. Listen, this was a busy month, man. We had 2 weddings back to back.
Wow.
Both on Friday. So my mother-in-law.
Oh yeah, we missed one of those.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. my
Friday's
mother-
a cheaper day.
Yeah, dude. Wedding Shinuko was in one. Then the following week was my cousin.
Yeah.
and then so she was over it.
He was like, I ain't going nowhere. Yeah. And then we got a show coming up on your birthday. Jake's birthday's coming up in a couple weeks.
Nice.
And we got a show that day in Atlantic City at the resort hotel and casino.
It was so funny. I told this story to you. Mom was like, Mom, do you think because I have 2 games at the same time, so I'm like trying to figure out who can come to the game, and Mom's like, what just happened?
Yeah, that cable.
Interesting.
We still got to get that cable replaced.
Like, Mom, can you what are you doing on Saturday?
I know she's not switching the camera on Saturdays because she ain't switched the camera on. She's listening to
She heard mom. She's just looking. She's engaged. She's listening. She's not switching.
I said, what are you doing on the 15th? She's like, she cracks me up though too,
Yeah.
because
she like gives
like,
it away.
like, Mom, if you're coming to the show, like, and why are you trying to keep it a secret? It's like, well, I want to surprise you. I'm like, because it's my birthday.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, but I'm probably not even gonna see you
Right.
for a
You are.
second.
Jamie said maybe in the back or something.
Yeah, but I'm saying we're like, when we do those shows, we're in and
We're
out.
in and out. Yeah.
So
Yeah, you might see us like after sound check when we're backstage getting ready to go on. Before you go to your seat, you could probably come say hi or whatever. But yeah, and then maybe after. But we're gonna pack up and leave, get up out of there, because we're not staying.
No.
Atlantic City's right around the corner.
Less than an hour away.
Yeah,
it's always good when you can do a show and go home,
right.
like this Saturday.
Yeah, right. You don't have no 3 a.m. lobby call.
And this one's even better because you don't need to bring equipment.
Oh, so
Yeah.
that's why you don't have to take all the equipment down or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Well, we do have to bring a couple keyboards.
Yeah.
But
Oh yeah.
yeah, but nothing major. Like the big keyboards will be there. Just like I'm gonna take mine right there, and Steve can bring his Nord on top. But yeah, getting ready for that. What else been going on, man? You've been busy working.
Busy, man.
Everybody get out and vote today.
Yes.
Do your
On Monday,
civic
I did
duty.
Monday.
My civic duty.
I took my kids with me.
Mom, how about you? Did you vote today?
You know what? Stop it.
She didn't vote.
No, I was right around the corner. I was going to vote, but I
What
looked.
an example.
Oh, God.
Mother.
He knows why, but why
How
is he
dare
bringing that
you.
up?
What
Knowing
an
that
example.
I wanted to vote, but I thought I couldn't vote because I'm independent. And I looked it up, and it said, no, you can't vote.
I told her
What?
that doesn't make any sense.
Because
Like,
I looked it up online.
How
and
would that, Mom? That's only
primary.
But I looked it up to see, and maybe it meant primaries. I don't know. But I thought because I was ready to vote. It's not like I didn't want to vote.
He said,
Nah.
Well, I did see that Abigail Spanberger has been projected to win Virginia already. So, Obama campaigning against the black woman.
It worked.
It worked. Him and the
what's the numbers?
NAACP. So what I see right now, 53.1% to 46.9%.
But she
But
could move up.
the polls just closed, and there's only 6% of the vote reporting, but they're already calling the race. So I don't know. It's so weird that they do that. They're projecting her to win already, and only 6% of the vote has been in.
Did you guys all have the fill in the dot
Yeah.
Yeah.
thing? Is annoying.
Yeah, try not to hit that cable.
That's how my town. Every time I do it, it's fill in the dot.
Unplug it and plug it back in. It's not on.
You know, what's funny though. When I went to go vote today, it was.
Hey. Okay.
Did I ever tell you a story about how my neighbor he used to my neighbor to the left of me, he used to come out in the backyard. He smoked all the time, and he would just have conversations
Yeah.
until it started. He thought that I was on the other side.
He thought you was a liberal.
And then, he was saying stuff, and then I would just rebuttal him with stuff.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Oh, you know what? I have to go pee." And then from that day, he hasn't been out smoking. It's been like a year almost.
So he don't want to have these talks no more.
And I see his daughter who lives with him. She's the one that did my district.
Okay.
She, and then he ended up showing up.
Wow.
I felt like he looked at me. I know who you're voting for.
My 89-year-old aunt went to vote.
That's
I was
good.
surprised because she said she wasn't going to vote, but she did.
Yeah. It's funny because when we go, it's crazy. It's not working for you.
Hey,
There you go.
It goes in and
I
out.
think I'm gonna have to do this. I'm gonna
Yeah.
talk, like push it
Push
in.
it in.
Or see if you can tighten that, because I think that screws at the bottom. That piece at the bottom.
So you're 89-year-old
Okay, I know what you're going to say. Shut up.
Dang. Dang.
Hey,
Well, I mean, you brought it up, Mom. You're congratulating everybody on all their great voting they did.
Shut up.
And it seems like you dropped the ball a little bit. No, but it was funny because we voted we voted in the primary, and I'm a registered independent, but you can't vote in the primary unless you register. So I remember when we went to the poll, we went to the voting place, and it was two like older black ladies there, and they were like, we were like, oh yeah, we want to vote in the primary, and they looked at us and said, oh well, you're registered independent, so you have to switch your affiliation or whatever, or claim one of the parties in order to vote. And I said okay. And she was like, all right, so just let us know which one you want to vote for. And we both was like Republican, and you just saw their face change, like,
I refuse.
here. And when we showed up there today, because now that we have a party there, it shows up when you sign in. Your party shows up. So Liz got the black lady again. You just see her face when she scan her little ID, and it comes up, pops up. There you go. Just going in there and
That's so crazy. That it's really, it's when you really look at how people perceive conservatives, or there's the way, especially when you're black or you're a minority, specifically black. That
only black. No other minorities are just like assumed.
Latinos do it too.
They're not assumed to be a part.
But I'm just saying, like, they get aggressive if they feel like you have abandoned what they feel you should.
Right.
I'm talking about like the unseen allegiance, like almost like you're supposed to be with me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But it's so weird, like when you start having conversations and people do start telling you, because they lead off with like everything that's wrong based on their idea of what being a conservative is.
Yeah.
So it's like, I want to tell you everything that's wrong. Here's my point of view. And then when you start, because a lot of times you're not even saying, hey, I am a Republican.
Yeah.
You're just pushing back on certain talking points because you've heard them before.
Right.
And you're like, well, I don't think so. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
you're trying to show them that it's not as black and white as you're trying to make
right,
it. Yeah.
right. So you're not even taking the angle of like, I'm a conservative.
Yeah.
I love Republicans.
Yeah.
You're just basically like, for example, like when you're talking about like deportation, that was a big topic. It's kind of quelled down a little bit, but there has been so much like footage of Obama talking about coming to the country illegally, and if you get a criminal mindset, and
Hillary Clinton too.
He was,
All
and
of
he was
them.
called the deporter in chief
Yeah.
at one time. He deported way more people.
Yeah.
And you're just pushing back not on the idea of conservatism or Republican. You're just pushing back on the notion that like one person is way more evil because they're affiliated with a party.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, there's a lot of drone
And
strikes.
let's be real. It's not even about that he's affiliated with the party. You're just told that he's evil. And
Right.
it's just like, Orange Man bad
and
no
I'm not
matter
even
what.
I'm not even
Yeah.
talking about him. I'm just like when we're talking about, okay, for instance, like was talking to a coworker of mine. I was talking about the whole rise in anti-blackness, and I was like, yeah, but that started under Obama.
Yeah.
With Trayvon Martin.
Yep.
Henry Gates when he was stopped. There was a lot of stuff that happened,
And he fanned the flames of that.
right? But I like what he did was he said Trayvon could have looked like my son. He didn't come up with any legislation.
Yeah.
For like if it was that important and it
Right.
was such a hot topic, he was.
All he did was say things.
Eric
that
Holder
kept-
was the.
That kept dividing the
Right.
country.
So I was just pushing back on that, and his attitude was like, "Oh, you're Republican, huh?" I'm like,
That's where they go every
Yeah.
time.
just
They go there every time
You're-
when you point out, okay, but there's hypocrisy
Right.
all over the place.
And I was like,
all of
yeah.
a sudden, you got to be a Republican. You know.
right. So we were talking about that, and I was like, well. There was a lot of deportation under him.
Yeah.
There's a lot of drone strikes under him. Like I was just trying to say, hey, listen, what you're trying to tell me.
Yeah.
I know that's what you believe, but there's
Right.
another side of it.
Yeah.
And immediately I'm relegated to like,
Yeah.
you're this. So.
Yeah, I mean, one of the most recent examples is them making a huge deal about this renovation at the White House,
Right.
and then people have been posting all of the clips of them like doing these praise news stories. They did this whole like 20-minute piece on when Obama
he was doing
remodeled
his-
the East and West Wing. It was like
For tennis courts.
No, it wasn't. That was a fake story.
Was
like,
it?
Yeah, everybody kept saying, "Oh, he was remodeled the tennis courts into basketball courts." That's not what happened. They did a complete renovation. Like
That was
remodeled-
$350 million.
340 estimated at $340 million of taxpayer money.
money.
Yeah.
But then they started pushing that fake story of like, all he did was renovate a tennis court and turn it into a basketball court. That's not true. That's not what happened.
But didn't that news lady say it was going to be tennis courts and all this other stuff too?
They already had tennis courts there. You know what I'm saying?
So they were redoing.
Yeah, there was already tennis courts at the White House, and they already had basketball courts. They were doing a whole remodeling. They had to fix plumbing. They had to do a whole bunch of stuff. They had
But
to,
your point is that they're always renovating
yes,
the White House.
and it's not a story. No one cares.
Right, right.
Yeah,
It's not,
until
right. But when
It's Donald
it's like
Trump.
when you have to create a narrative around anything that one man is doing,
Right.
and then people just run with that.
And that's my point, you know. And I'm not even offering pushback to say, here's what's going on. This is better. I'm just saying, well, no, just you're saying this, but that's not the entire truth.
Yeah.
You're just telling me sound bites and clips that you've heard.
yes,
Right.
and they don't even know the full content. Just like that dude on Culture War, right? With Tim Pool. He couldn't even tell Tim Pool what the cases that Trump has been indicted for or whatever. 34 counts of felony. He didn't even know anything about the cases at all.
Yeah. Yep.
Because it's a talking point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's just talking points.
Well, that's why they do it. That's why they hit him with 34 counts. That's why
He's a felon.
they want to
Yeah.
stamp that. They couldn't wait for him to be convicted of that because they wanted to stamp that. All the headlines the next day were the mugshot, 34 counts. You know, they wanted to be able to, and then during the election, what everybody say, oh, you're going to vote for a felon, you're 34 count felon, oh, you're going to vote for a 30 time. Like that was, they did that to be able to put that stink on him, but it didn't work.
A felon, a fascist.
Yeah.
Hitler.
They even said
Nazi.
pedophile. I even
Yeah.
heard people saying pedophile.
Yeah.
I heard the Epstein thing, but not the
Yeah, they trying to put that on him because of the Epstein thing. But yeah,
What's the word on New Jersey?
looks
Anything?
like they're projecting that Mikey won.
What?
Wow.
Yep,
What's going on here?
yep. Looks like Mikey won.
by what?
61%.
Yeah. Virginia. That's Virginia. Yeah, looks like Mikey won. Republicans.
There was a lot of advertisement.
Yeah, I mean there was advertising. I saw a lot for both of them, but
Yeah.
she had a
I
lot.
think she had more though.
She had a lot.
And for people who don't know, like me seeing her advertisement, I thought it it was. I don't want to say well done because I think it was trash because a lot of it was lies.
Yeah.
But it was just like if you're saying the way they did it, if people don't know and they're just hearing it, they're gonna be scared. Like the taxes thing, like I don't know if y'all saw those where
I saw them all.
yeah.
I got like 15
I
text messages from different numbers.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Me too.
who's selling my number?
Social media is pretty much a liberal launching pad anyway, so you're gonna see that. I mean, I'm sure they can't suppress, from the conservative standpoint as much, but you're gonna definitely see the algorithm push more of that than anything else. That was like every like how YouTube has like 2 sets of ads, like it'll be 2 and you skip and then there's another one coming like every 5-10 minutes. There's pretty much it was like back to back like Democrat ads.
Yeah. Why is this not working? Why is my why is that not working? No, it's not working. I was trying to bring up this the New Jersey election. 63.6 right now to 35.9.
That's a lot. My gosh.
I mean, it's only 18% of the votes counted. But again, they're already projecting her the winner. They're calling these races so early. I don't know why this is not working. Let's see. Still not working.
Shout out to Brendan. He said, "Hey guys, how's it going? Love some of the videos of you all playing at the last 2 events."
Brendan's son just got his teeth taken out. He sent me a picture. I felt bad for him.
Taken out.
Yeah, because he has baby teeth that didn't come out, so he had three teeth taken out.
He had 3 of them taken out?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What, it's all in the front or what? Where is it?
I think they're like in the, like his, so 2 of his teeth were pushed forward because he had
So his adults
baby
are going
teeth
in.
behind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they had to get him taken out. So he didn't come to practice today.
Wow. Hope you feel better,
So,
buddy.
Yeah, hope he feels better. I think he said right now, I don't think he feels anything. He's still numb.
Oh, when that goes away.
But yeah, don't be feeling it.
2 on top of the fangs, 1 on the bottom, Brendan said. I went to the dentist recently, and before that, I have not been to the dentist for maybe 15 years.
Oh wow.
But I had to get a filling and then like deep cleaning on one side, but the dude like just numbed me all over. He was like injecting whatever, but I was numb like all night trying to like talk and eat.
Yeah.
We were playing Scrabble.
AKA you're spitting on everybody.
Yeah.
It just felt so weird. And
So-
I've never felt like that. I didn't know what it felt like. So
Yeah. Drooling, you don't know you're drooling
when
until it's coming out your mouth.
right when she was done, she was like, "Okay, now you can gargle and spit." And
Yeah.
when I tried to spit, it was like in this little small sink. It was like going like this.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, they're used to that.
Yeah.
They're so used to that.
Right. I am fascinated with dentistry though. I find myself like watching it. I'm like, this is interesting.
Yeah. Oh no, it's scary.
Yeah,
They're just drilling.
That's my wife's
Mm-hmm.
expertise. Some of the stories she tells me, man, crazy.
I can
But
imagine.
that's one of the most hated like professions. Do you know that like dentists are like one of the highest suicide rates?
So it's
Highest
pilots.
suicide.
Why?
Yeah, just people come in there and say, "I hate you. I don't like you." Like they'll just go in there. I don't know. So people just look it up.
I'm trying to get this desktop
Let me see if I can look it up.
But why? But I get
Well,
like
you hate them. Your teeth is falling out.
I know it's your fault. Your teeth falling.
Right?
Dude, I didn't know. I haven't talked to you in a while, but Jess is making me do things that I haven't done in a while, like go to the dentist and stuff. So
Circumcision.
that's not happening. But I went right. It was supposed to be for like a cleaning, and then the dental hygienist was like, "When was the last time you went to the dentist?" And I was like, "You want me to be honest?" It was probably just out of high school.
Did you get a clean, like no cavities or nothing?
I didn't have any cavities. I had a chipped tooth, but I knew I had it chipped, so I had to get a filling. But I just needed a deep clean for underneath of my gums. They said just to prevent like gingivitis. But she was like, for you not going to the dentist, your teeth are
Seriously, that's
amazing.
But
Because I thought they were going to be like, sir, you're going to need $13,000 worth of work.
no,
I just saw something about your teeth and that cavities are mostly caused by your gut.
Gut?
Yeah. And the nutrients your gut can take in. So,
Wow.
yeah. Like, not even.
So all that sugar and stuff like that is a lie?
I mean, no. Because if your gut isn't working right, then, yeah, it makes your teeth more susceptible to that stuff. But it's really about, like, your gut working.
So it's all about
diet, health.
eating right and making sure your
Well, it's not just
your
eating
biome.
right. Yeah, it's more, that your gut has the right. Think about it. You could eat right, but you're taking a lot of ibuprofen.
Oh yeah.
On an empty
Yeah,
stomach.
it weakens
or,
enamel. There's a lot of things happening.
Yeah, you're taking a lot of antibiotics, and it destroys your gut. So there's other things you can do that destroys your gut, and then you can eat right, but your body's not going to be able to take in that nutrients. So.
They did that to me too. I hadn't gone to the dentist. I was 32 when I went to the dentist, and I had no cavities. I had no issues, and they tried to guilt trip me, and I was like, but it's not like you said, like I'm expecting the same thing.
I didn't know what to expect.
But I think though, yes, should you go get a checkup and clean bill of health?
Cleaning
Yes.
once a year.
That's true. But let's be honest. The reason they want you to come all the time is because they need
They make
patients.
money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
They
like
do.
They make money off of that.
I'm scheduled. I have 3 scheduled cleaning a year. One day, the lady, she said, "Hey, do you want to? There's one open. Do you want to?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." And then they send me a bill for like a couple $100s, and I was like, "Wait, the insurance?" She's like, "Oh no." She's like, "This one was not covered by insurance." Then why would you tell? Because it's a.
They
you
want
told
you.
me. You said to me, "Hey, we have an opening. There's an extra one." Why didn't you say, "Oh, this one doesn't cover insurance"?
Yeah.
Because she knew I would have to pay it. So it's yes. Should you? I'm not saying don't go get checked up, but a big part of that is they need patience. You know how many times I get text message, "James, there's an opening today." Yeah, why? But you're right. It comes down to your health. I think a lot of things like you don't technically need to go if you floss, if you brush your teeth, and you use preventative measures, yeah, you'll be fine. Like you can't eat a whole bowl of ice cream and be like off to bed. You know what I mean? Like, but there's money in you being a patient,
Just like working out and, being healthy,
Yeah.
preventative.
I mean, ask
to go
yourself
to the
this. Why don't
doctors.
they, if they're so cared about, okay, you're banning sodas, you're banning all this stuff. Why isn't that you can't have a tax write-off for gym membership that they can show progress? Like, hey, I'm losing.
We got a
weight,
skills.
You know, there's nothing for that.
Yeah.
You know.
Trying to see if I can get this working, guys. Sorry.
We're having an interesting conversation about dentistry.
Listen, it's all good.
All because Simone took 15 years. Jessica has a list of things for him to do. He's getting kneecap surgery next week.
I thought like when, because I don't know what a filling is, to be honest with you. You know, I thought that they were just gonna, you know, get like whatever glue thing that they put in and fill in my crack.
And knowing
But the dude was like grinding because my
Yeah.
teeth are so tight together. I was like, what is he doing? I hear I'm like,
and knowing Simone taught a filling, he bought his own Bondo and some cream. He's like, I ain't trying to spend this money. He's mixing up in the corner.
listen,
I bought a thing of Bondo. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, like anything, you know, a lot of them are gonna try to sell you on whatever they can sell you.
Yeah.
yeah.
And it works so much because same thing with my wife. She'd be like, yeah, and I was like, I have healthier teeth than you.
I have.
Like, don't try to guilt trip me. You need to do this.
And if
You
you
know?
go 6 months and then again you go, then they say to you, another X-rays. No, I don't want any more X-rays. You know, it's like
Oh, they always gonna
they
do
wanna
that.
Make money.
Yeah.
They're always gonna
Yeah.
do that. You know, like I don't know how true this is. What's that?
Jessica heard me talking about her. She said it was more like 25 years.
Oh. She's like,
Dang, babe.
she's like, do you guys have to kiss him? She's trying to tell you something. Bad breath moan over there. Like, it's the same thing. What we've talked about this before. Like, what they've done with, like, you remember when they said like saturate, like animal fats were bad and like coconut oil was bad and all this stuff, and now it's not.
Yep.
You know,
They were,
Now that's better for you.
right?
JB's going through a whole.
Gotta make something work, or else we don't get no
videos.
visuals. Oh, took the wrong one.
We need to have the little robot that with all the things fall apart, like fixing it.
This is the issue with live, guys.
Yep.
But we got the right man on the job, because if it was me, I don't know what I'm doing.
Right? Any of us.
It was all right, we're gonna have to go.
Like, why are we looking at a picture of Afghanistan? I don't know.
Brendan said they selling you like the car servicing people sell you.
Yep, that's pretty
Yo.
much it. That's it. That's it.
Maybe get Jessica every time, like
That's
when,
it.
before I started doing our oil change. They're like, "Oh, you need this and you need that." She come out $100 and something just for an oil change and wipers.
My sister called me. She went in with a $70 coupon and came back out asking me, "Hey, real quick before I do this, they found $2,000 worth of work they needed to do." I was like, Shelly, I don't know. I was like, you need to stop with this. I think it was, I don't know the company's name. I won't say the name, but it's one of those like
Say it.
One of those chains.
Say it.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, what? I was like, why would you do that? It was. They sent it in the mail. I was like, yes, to get you down there.
Yeah. The amount they charge you for like an air filter,
Oh my goodness.
it's crazy.
Let's making it up.
It's like, dude, you change that from the inside. But you know, most women don't know, so they're just, okay, we gotta do it.
Right.
Just get it done.
$150 for
Not me.
change an air
I
filter.
buy my own.
It's so easy to
Yeah.
change your oil, though.
Oh, no, I don't know how to
YouTube,
change
though.
my oil.
For
Now,
us, though, I mean, you know, most people ain't
I
gonna do it.
wouldn't know how to do that.
I can teach you. It's easy.
Change the oil.
Yeah.
I need a
There-
lift. I need a lift thing. I don't have one.
You do have a... No, you don't need a lift. You just need some ramps. Some ramps. I started changing my oil again because I'm trying to save money because, you know, I got a car payment now.
So, Mom, now when I tell you to bring up a clip, you gotta go to camera 4. Okay, like try it right now. Make sure it's working. No,
That's 4.
that's 4. It's not working.
I don't see anything.
Okay, should be working. Let me see. Why is it not working? Yeah, it should be working. It's wild.
Brendan said my wife once went for an oil change, and she came out with a new tire rod, other stuff, because she said her wheel was going to fall off. I tried to tell her that she made it to the oil change without it falling off.
Right.
It was the last time she brought her car to get an oil change.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's how they make money. It's a service.
Just like anything else.
Right. That's what I'm saying. They do it with health too.
Dentists.
They said I just saw something where they said they lower the normal blood pressure to get people back on blood pressure medication. It's what they do. They work off of fear.
It's always fear.
And it's like even like the flu season. With flu season, they scare everybody into thinking that you're gonna get sick and it's gonna be catastrophic. And
Same thing with COVID.
And all these natural remedies, like I don't know if you guys heard about this one. There's 2. There's honey with onions and honey with garlic, and you could put cloves. These are all natural remedies. These are all things that people use.
Yeah.
Like elderberries for cough medicine. Like there's just so much stuff.
Manuka honey.
Manuka honey.
Yeah,
My
there's so
goodness.
much stuff. And it's like,
Bro, in this house now we swear by that turmeric and ginger
yeah, turmeric ginger.
and Manuka honey. And people feeling sick, you take some shots of that and man,
Yeah,
it does wonders.
it does.
All right, let's get into some stuff, guys. Wow, we can. So first thing I wanted to talk about is the shutdown is still going on. And, of course, everybody is throwing blame back and forth. The Democrats are blaming the Republicans blaming the Democrats. And everybody knows that the SNAP benefits ran out on November 1st, and people are panicking. So let's watch a little clip here, Mom. No,
Oh,
remember?
That's right.
Okay, you got to take that down now.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
He said no.
Okay.
Should the Democratic senators from New Mexico, your home state, vote to open the government so that these SNAP funds are not at risk?
Let me be clear. The administration is choosing to starve American children with money that they already have appropriated.
I'm not applauding
this
their- I'm not applauding
choice
their
by
tactics.
the White House.
Well,
this is a choice by the White House.
This
They
is
are
also,
choosing
Congresswoman,
to
this
cut
is
off
also a
food
choice
assistance.
by Senate Democrats
No,
to
it
not
is
vote to
not.
open the government. Yes, it is.
This
I understand
Senate-
why they're doing it. They're doing it because they want Medicaid funds restored. They're doing it because they want Obamacare premiums to be extended past the end of the year. I understand the reasoning.
Sir, let me just be clear. The money for contingency plans is sitting there. That is why the states are suing. The White House is withholding funds from
2 to 3
children
weeks worth
to
of
have
SNAP funds.
food.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it may not be a big deal to you, but let me
It is
tell
a big
you
deal
that
to
for
me.
the grandparents, for grandparents
big deal
that
to me.
literally are feeding their children,
My point
to
is that
not
it's a
have
short-term
money
solution.
in those accounts.
It's
it
a
doesn't
short-term-
matter. At the end of the day, people need to be able to feed their families, and Saturday is when those funds
If you
run
feel
out,
so
and we
strongly,
are fighting to
Congresswoman,
get
why
that
not
funding.
ask the Senate Democrats from New Mexico to vote to open the government so that the SNAP funds...
Sir, I am here in the House of Representatives. It is shut down. I am fighting to get the government reopened. I am fighting to get funding put back into SNAP that is already existent, and I am fighting for the American people. I am here. But show me a single Republican that is here. Not a single one is here
Because
to
they
make
already
sure that
voted
American...
yes.
No, they already voted yes. They need the Democrats to join in and vote yes to reopen the government.
How are you fighting? That's like
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
you're not saying anything
Yeah,
about that. You're
right.
not saying how you're fighting. You're just saying you're fighting. Anybody can say they're fighting, but how are you fighting? We like to know.
This whole system is broken. This
Yeah.
this
I mean,
entire
it's
way of doing things.
It's showing it.
this is happening every year now when it comes time to keep the budget going. There's this back and forth, and they play this game of chicken to see who's going to get what they want out of these bills.
But
and
it's showing that we have too many people relying on the government.
oh yeah, that's definitely showing with the SNAP thing. Yeah, for sure. But I'm just saying, like, even the fact that we get to this point where it's like they can hold each other hostage over these.
It's a
these
political game they're playing.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they're playing it at the expense of us.
But the people have given it to them.
Exactly.
We have given them.
Jake Tapper trying to be a journalist again.
You know, he's trying to.
He's trying to.
I think you know, there's been a lot of pushback against, because I mean, you can't deny the fact that these Senate Democrats keep voting to not reopen the government. Like, they don't want to do it because they want to get. They think that the Republicans are going to take the blame for it, and they keep thinking that they're going to cave.
After a while, I mean, it's kind of getting obvious.
Yeah.
Anybody can see.
Not anybody.
A lot of people still.
Yeah.
Anybody who is looking to actually just know the truth, right?
Yeah.
Who's looking not with in pride and trying, you know. Yeah, there's a lot of people who already have preconceived notions, just like we talked about earlier with Trump. And
there's a lot of people that don't understand how all this works. They're very, very low information. I mean, you got Jasmine Crockett going on every podcast talking about they control all branches of government. This is the Republicans, you know, and people hear that and they think, yeah, that's true. They control. How come they can't, you know, what are they doing? Why is the government shut down? They control it all.
And part of what this is too is just the way the news and information is put out. Let's like, for instance, okay, when you have let's take Stephen A. Smith, and you have them talking about sports and a stat. What you'll see is they'll say, we're talking about this particular player. They'll put up his numbers or whatever it is. So you can see what he's talking about pertains to, okay, his wins, his losses, how many percentage, what he did. We don't do that with politicians.
Yeah.
So we can't see, like, when a Republican or a Democrat is speaking on something and the news anchor is questioning them, if there was a way that while she's saying that, you could put up
who voted
who voted what,
who voted to keep
right?
it shut down,
you know, so in
Sort of like how they do the Jubilee.
That's what I'm saying.
Right?
So it's
they
like
have
if there was a way,
fact-checking thing.
this is where the news, like I said, is so disingenuous, and this is why legacy media is dying, because if there was a way while someone is saying, and they're passionate, like a Jasmine Crockett, talking like this, and you could put up their actual voting record as they're saying this, people would see that you're lying.
Yeah, because I mean, the fact of it is that the Republicans put up a bill that was basically the same thing that they signed last year, the same exact thing, just to keep the government funded. But they wanted to add in these provisions for Obamacare
and for illegals too.
But it was to take care of illegals. All of that was being snuck in that they wanted to get added in.
That's what I'm saying.
And people said no. So they refused to sign the bill until that stuff gets added, and they're saying that they're trying to make it that people's healthcare premiums are going to triple and people are going to die and all this and stuff, but they don't really care about any of that, and it's all a game. And
I want them to say that, but I feel like this is where the news, if the news could show the record, it would. Number one, it would give clarity and like, okay, what games we're playing, because this is a game that has been going on for a long time. To be fair,
well, I mean, even the fact of how we got to this point now, where you need the 60 votes to secure something, it's because they found this loophole where they could get up there and filibuster and talk. It used to be you had to get up there and talk and waste time so that the vote couldn't happen. That's what the filibuster used to be. Remember when people would get up there and do those long speeches to run out the clock so that people couldn't vote or whatever. They put a provision in so that they don't have to do that anymore, and the filibuster is now just you have to get 60 votes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which is damn near impossible. Unless you can get the other side to cave.
Right. Yeah.
So,
but we're only short how many votes? 3 or 4?
3, like 3 votes.
Come on.
Yeah, I mean, I wanna play a clip because
I was gonna say that.
Yeah, I mean, when you
guy you got somebody. I'm starting to like how he's talking.
I mean, when you got the guy that had a stroke, your mic.
Yeah. When you're over there, Mo,
Yeah, no, but I was already thinking about
know,
him, but I see that he has a video of him pulling up,
but you be
and I already knew you were gonna say something about that.
you be spilling the
Why
beans.
won't she?
Yeah, no, but I wanted to show him because this is a guy that, you know, for a long time he couldn't even barely talk. He got elected. Everybody thought it was weird, but he's become a voice of reason for the Democrats. He's become like someone that actually is speaking with some sense.
This is Hooded Man.
That Fetterman?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Schumer do it? I mean, you voted to open the government.
Well, I mean, I really kind of led the charge back in March about, keeping our government open. And I thought I might be the only Democrat. And there wasn't enough people back in March. And I said, I'm going to be right there in September when this comes back. And if I'm the only Democrat, I'll still be there because it's wrong to shut our government down.
Does Schumer hate you for this?
No, of course he doesn't. He doesn't hate me. We might disagree with it right now. And I'm here tonight to have a conversation because I'm going to have a conversation with the other side. And that's where I'm at. And I'm going to show up and talk to anyone that invites me to be here because we really need each other. And I want to have. And one other thing I refuse to do as a Democrat, I'm not going to call you a fascist or a Nazi. I'm not going to compare anyone to like Hitler or anything. That's wrong. And if you resort to that thing, you've lost the plot. It's like because if you call him a fascist, then you have to think, well, maybe the people that vote for him, and I know people that love for him, is a fascist. That's just not true. And I know people that voted for the other side, and they're not trying to destroy our Constitution.
It's crazy because you can still see that he struggles to like get his words out that he wants, but he's making more sense than people that have not had a stroke.
Yeah.
And it's crazy that he's because he's saying that I refuse to call them fascists, I refuse to call them Nazis. They're gonna start calling him that.
Yeah.
And
I hope not.
Well, that's the old guard. The old guard wants you to play like the Chuck Schumers. They want you to play in this red. That's why they love Jasmine Crockett so much because Jasmine Crockett is an educated woman that doesn't have the ghetto twang to her, but she plays into stereotypes, and they love that.
Yeah.
And that's really what it is. That's why she's getting the airtime. He's probably not going to get the airtime. They're probably going to flip on him soon.
You see he's on Fox News right now. So you already know once that starts happening.
I've seen multiple interviews with him talking about that kind of stuff, and he's somebody on the other side where I see that him and his wife, they genuinely care about people. His wife has some nonprofit or something like that where they're just feeding people, and he said the lines are getting longer.
Yeah.
But they're doing things like that. They show that they care.
And that language, the type of language, like you said, like, the fascist, the Nazi, all the stuff, it's old. It doesn't work. For them to keep using that,
it works
on the boomers.
I mean, to some degree, but they're losing. Yeah, it may work on those people, but the younger vote, it's not working on them. They're not falling for that. They've heard that for the last 16 years or so. Like, come on, man.
Yeah,
they're tired of that.
It's working on certain people. I think we got to get back to understanding that it's about community. It's about family. These small things, talking to people, putting yourself out there.
Yeah.
It's easy for us to talk about this stuff on here and, say what we're saying, but are we doing that in our personal lives? Like, we don't know what's going on in our communities. We know we can show what's going on in the country, but on a smaller scale, there's nuance to it. And in order to deal with that nuance, you gotta become a part of it. So those things are very, very important. And when we're just watching the social media, the algorithm, and all these things, it causes a lot of people to just think they already know. And that's why we're getting into oh, you're black, oh, you're white, oh, you're a Republican, oh, you're a Democrat, oh, you're whatever you want to label people. Oh, like, we get into these, people just want to label you so they can already think they know. I mean, I think America has been really good at doing that in terms of just putting labels on people so that you think you got them figured out.
Isn't that like a CIA tactic? Like,
Yeah.
I think all of that was kind of, fostered in through these intelligence agencies to get people into boxes so that they're easier to control and manipulate.
Yeah. But when you actually engage with people and you actually love them, like, and then they find out you're something that they didn't know. Oh, you're a Democrat? Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, you're a Republican? Like, oh, that's just, he's that, but
Yeah.
that's just Jake, or that's
Right.
just Simone. You know,
Right.
like, I can't look at him. He's not that kind of.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what I mean? It starts to break those ideologies that people have in their head that they think are so defined.
Yeah.
So
That's part of the problem too. Is a lot of believers, Christians, didn't get into those political spaces. We just didn't think that it was necessary, and so we sat back on the sidelines and allowed a lot of people, a lot of different groups, a different mindset, different political affiliation, different religions to get in. Because think about, you have a friend who's on the Cherry Hill Township, right?
Yeah, he's on the Voorhees zoning board.
It's Voorhees zoning board.
Yeah.
Like even that, like we think it's all or nothing. So we don't think of like basic local. So when do we start to care? When it's the president election, the presidential election. We don't think of like local committees. We don't think of committee members. We don't think of zoning board. We don't think of the PTA, the school board. We don't think of basic thing. Everybody, we want the championship. So we don't think of well, listen, you have to get involved in all aspect of this.
And it's and that's not like, when you think about even politics, it's in everything, right? You have to learn how to deal with people and everything. Like me just being a part of the coaches in Pentalk, and you got to learn how to deal with that. I got to go to the meetings in order to get stuff. I have to go, and
you have to make relationships with people.
Yeah, you have to engage.
Yeah,
and that's part of it.
It's part of it. Yeah,
and not just to get stuff, but also, this mic is annoying, but also to just build relationship with people, right?
Yeah.
Do you genuinely want to build relationships with people?
There's got to be a way that you don't have to hold it. Like it was
every time I let it go. I tried to screw it in. I don't know. But I think we're missing that. I think we're so caught up in the grand thing, and we don't realize that the grand thing starts at the lower level. You know how the first shall be last.
Yeah.
Right? That's the most important. Guys, serve, right? Be the least of them first, right? Be like a child. If you're not like a child, you can't enter the kingdom of heaven.
Right.
Right? Serve others. It's the opposite of the way the world works. And I think for us, if we do that, we love people, it's going to hurt. It's not going to feel good. You're going to deal. I've dealt with people wanting to fight, wanting to, you're going to step in these realms, wanting to talk about you, you step in these realms, you're going to have to deal with stuff. It's not going to be without tension, but can you deal with that tension? And if you put your trust in God, it's going to work out.
Yeah, well, that's what we need. We need our political system to be completely like reconfigured, because the way it works now, it's just a game where people are jockeying for position, for political points, political power, trying to move up that ladder, trying to be, from a community leader to a congressperson to a, House representative, senator, and then maybe president, and then you retire and get your book deal. Like that's,
it's not even like a secret.
Yeah.
Right. But that's my point.
Yeah.
What's it gonna take?
It takes us. Again, it takes every individual. Like, if nobody is
exempt
from this, it takes everybody can play their own little part. And yeah, you got to be uncomfortable. Yeah, you're going to have to do a little bit more. But that's what we got to do.
Right.
The only reason why it got this way in D.C. is because it first got this way in our own communities. You know what I mean? it's backwards. So it starts there in our communities that then spills over into DC. And yeah, things can happen at the same time. I'm not saying that, but not all of us can affect what happens in DC. You know, and those who can should. But
I mean, there's a lot of things that these people have positioned themselves so that, like, the government shutdown doesn't affect their paychecks.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's insane. Like, if they stop getting paid, because they would never shut down. And that should be something that should be instituted.
Why?
Why? Because they're the ones that control the legislature.
Right.
They're the ones that control these bills, just like they stopped the filibuster into being actual work. It's just about getting votes now because they don't want to do no work.
Right.
It's crazy to me.
They want to be able to just go there, get their checks,
I mean,
pretend like they're
The most
they're
obvious
fighting.
thing is for them not to get paid.
Right.
If they not there.
But most of the stuff they even bring forth, why is it? First of all, why is it so many freaking pages long? Right?
Yeah.
And why is it not? Why does the public not know? We got to fight to know about this
Right.
stuff. There's a reason for that. All this,
They know
all
you're
that
not.
stuff
They
matters.
know we're not gonna.
Yeah.
Because they
Right.
can hide a million things in it.
Right.
And the
name
public
it
is
one.
too distracted with all the, we got football games to worry about and, and everything else that's going on day to day.
But again, your representative. Think about this, because 200 years ago, there would be no way except for the newspaper to know about this stuff.
Yeah.
Right. So it's not like, and you're not going to know everything. The newspaper is just bullet points.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody, even back then, it's not like people could. There were no phones. There was no TV. There was no internet. But you still had to have people represent for you.
Yeah.
That you could trust.
But they also, like, back then they didn't live in D.C., right? Wasn't it like back then they actually used to have to go there to advocate for their state? They had to live in the state amongst the people, though.
Yeah.
Like, they were your
changed.
representative that you would
A lot
send
has
there
changed, yeah.
to advocate on certain things.
Yeah.
But like this whole system of like living there and coming in for these votes and like all that stuff like that
It became a sport.
Yeah, that
became a
is
sport.
more from the more modern era when train systems were built in and everything.
And most of those people who were representative had jobs in businesses too,
Yeah.
in their home states.
That was their main job.
That was their main job.
Yeah, they were
weren't- that was
volunteering their time as a representative.
because of the lobbyist system.
Yeah.
The lobbyist system has to be reined in because when you could just sit back and be a full-time politician and all you have to do is get involved with lobbyists who will fund your campaign, you can literally not have anything else but do that and just travel around speaking your language, your rhetoric,
I saw a video of Jasmine Crockett today where they were asking her, like, are you trying to push for any legislation? Like, what are your ideas for certain things that you want to get passed? And she just was like, honestly about it, like, oh, I'm not even doing any of that. My whole job is just to stop Trump. You know what I mean? Like, she's not even, like...
And that's not the point of her job.
Yeah.
And if you look at like the whole squad thing, they're not there to really represent their community. That
Ilhan Omar is representing Somalia.
Yeah.
She's there for that.
Yeah.
But again, what you're talking about is the people. This is where we have to hold ourselves accountable, myself included, where it's like, okay, we have these qualms and these quarrels, but how many of us are going down to City Hall, going down to these meetings and actually, we're upset, we're talking about it, and we're maybe in the home we're yelling and we're having debates back and forth with each other, but we're not actively participating. So these people really never see the pushback and never see how upset we are. Because how many people in Minnesota actually go when Ilhan Omar is there to actually speak out to her? Now I see that Brandon Johnson, they're going in on him.
But what does that change? What does it do?
No, it
you know what I mean?
I
Because
get
the
that.
way the system is designed. Look how long it took for them to get
It
that
does.
mayor. What was her name? The corrupt mayor in Illinois.
Lightfoot.
Yes. No, not Lightfoot. Not Lightfoot. The other one that was straight up stealing money. She had her own police detail. She had the fake cancer foundation that they found out about. They could not get rid of this lady.
Right.
And they were in there protesting her all the time. Damn. Tiffany Henyard.
Okay, but imagine if they did nothing though.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I'm saying, I know because this system is big, but I'm saying just by the footage of people speaking out against him has swayed so many people. Because if you, like I said, if you look at the language from 5 years ago to now, when it comes to Chicago, with him, from Lightfoot to him, bro, the language has changed.
Yeah.
But it takes, I mean, yes, I think part of it is we want immediate gratification. Like, we went down, we yelled at them, and it's changed everybody. It doesn't work like that. This system has been in place for a long time. You're going to have to keep going at it, and you're going to have to keep progressing.
You're going to have to convince a lot of people to see it the way you do, because they were down there complaining about Lori Lightfoot, and then they voted in someone worse.
Right.
You know what I mean? Look at New York. New York is about to vote in a straight up
communist,
but like a nepo baby, silver spoon, never worked a day in his life, from Uganda, communist. You know what I mean? That wants to that's openly operating in Takia. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was a video of him at a gay bar the other night, dancing around, telling people to go out and vote for him. He's a Muslim.
Yeah.
Like, this is the thing. Like,
No, I know, I understand, but I still think you have to. I think a lot of people give up very easily. A point that he made that is a lot of us miss too is sometimes in your participation in these systems, people get to see your humanity. Like, say, I think we have a defeatist attitude a lot of times. Like, it's not going to change. Look how much time.
A lot of people feel like
that. Okay, but think about, like, over time, they get to know you, your family. They get to see. So when the language comes out, hey, Jake Evans is a this, and they're like, nah, he's not like that. He's a family man. It's like, sometimes I think because we have this, like, it's nothing's going to change, and we just give up so easily, that we don't think perseverance and really showing people like a steadfastness. Sometimes, yes, it takes time. There's no doubt about it. I'm not saying this is easy, but through your presence there, and like I said, your light too, God's light through you, a lot of times what the rhetoric is, you may even have people who you think are political enemies defending you when they get to see your character. And I think that's what we're missing. You know what I mean? Just like we're able to see how the left have co-opted a lot of these things and they've made talking points out of it, so too I think if people would go down and participate in these systems, speak out, don't fall for the back and forth rhetoric that they're going for. Sometimes those little acts changes more people's minds than we think it does. You know what I mean? Again, I'm not saying it's easy. I know it's going to take some time because this has been going on for a long time, but I think you got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like the school board. Like, if you have an issue with LGBTQ literature in kids' books, speaking about it at home and posting on Facebook is not going to do anything. But if you went down and you were there enough and you actually campaigned to be on the board and you were there, that stuff wouldn't even hit the school curriculum if there were people in the back scenes fighting for this. Because people would say, hey, listen, this is what they're trying to do. Just like we talked about probably a couple months ago, what happened when, are they Armenian or Iranian? In California.
They were Armenian, yeah.
Armenian. They're Muslim. They're not.
No, they were Christian.
They're Christian?
Yeah.
Okay. But there was some sort of
there were
literature.
some Muslims too.
I thought there was some Muslims too, right?
No, but the ones in California you're talking about when they were out protesting, yeah, they were Christian Armenians.
Right, but because they were protesting about a new curriculum literature that was coming out that was going to be mandatory for the school, right? And it was going to be promoting sexuality, a lot of things that kids shouldn't be learning. Those families, and how left is that? That's a blue state.
Yeah.
But those people coactively got together, went down there, and they stopped it.
Did they stop it? I know they protested it.
I know that school, they took that book out. I don't know if they put it back in, but for that short time, they took that out.
Yeah, but they make that decision. They don't vote on every book that's going to be.
But because they
there's no vote where you can go to
Right.
a
No,
council or something
I get
like
that,
that.
but what I'm saying is because those people were business owners and
Yeah.
they had some clout in the community, they were able to put a stop to it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's
But that happens everywhere, though. I'm sorry to cut
No,
you
go
off,
ahead.
but that happens. When I've seen videos of somewhere in Missouri where a black pastor was reading to a student not student
I saw
council,
that.
Board of Education.
Yeah. And they got uncomfortable.
and he was reading the book back to them.
back to them. They were
Right.
getting uncomfortable. Like,
I've seen that guy.
yeah.
The problem is like when you have a state that elects a governor like we have now, just apparently is about to be the governor,
Yep.
and they put a mandate in that these school boards have to follow.
That's what I mean. That happens.
You know, like,
that
that's
happens with
So then
whoever's
there's-
governing, right?
Yeah. So there's a whole top-down system there, just like during COVID we saw, like, that gym that was like, nah, we're not closing down. But then what happened? They sent the state troopers there because the local police didn't want to get involved because they're like, we like these guys. But what they do, they send state troopers in because they have to follow the governor, So it's a lot more. The giant you're trying to slay is. It's harder. It's it is important to get involved, and I understand what you're saying. But I just feel like it's like the system has been so designed to be so corrupted and like just this giant mammoth of a machine that is hard to topple. That people do get deflated easily when they see like, okay, we tried all of this to push back.
It's crazy because you're talking about this and you're talking about giants and stuff. And it just reminds me of like how defeated Israel was when
They
were
saw
coming
the
up
giants.
against Goliath. And David came around like,
Yeah.
who is this uncircumcised Philistine?
Yeah.
I just watched this.
No offense, guys. No
I just
offense.
watched season. None taken. I just watched season 2 where David.
Where he said that?
Yeah.
I gotta watch that. I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, so my point is that like these are the times where we have to trust God.
Yeah.
Like, as believers,
Yeah.
On any level, when you're frustrated and you're like, this is horrible. This is annoying. This is whatever.
You see someone get elected in like
You got to trust God. All right, how are we going to work this? You have the solutions. I give you all the we can either quit, we can give up.
Move to Florida.
And I've been on this one scripture lately, which is Galatians 6. It says, "Be not deceived. God is not mocked." Right? I mean, don't make a mockery out of God.
Right.
Whatever you sow, you'll reap. If you sow to the flesh, you're going to reap to the flesh.
Right.
Sow to the spirit. Well, if you sow to the flesh, you're going to reap to the flesh, but you're going to reap corruption.
Yeah, but break down, because you were talking to me about this, and break down what the actual word mockery means, because we have a idea of what mockery is, where it's like, right.
Yeah. No,
But that's not
that
actually...
dude, what's his name? Ralph from
Ralphie, from
Yeah.
Simpsons.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, God is not mocked. It like you think about a mock-up. It's something that's not the actual thing, right? So once you're like actually making the thing, you're creating that thing, or it's becoming created, it's going to be defined more, right? So for us, if we're deceived, that means we're losing the understanding of who God is in our lives.
Right.
And we are making a mockery out of God because we're acting him out in the wrong way, right?
It's a false representation.
It's a false representation.
Yeah.
We're missing it ourselves, and a lot of times that happens because here's the next part. Again, it says whatever. If you sow to the flesh, which is the mockery, right? You're going to reap corruption. If you sow to the spirit, you're going to reap eternal life. Then it speaks about it because it's talking about. So don't grow weary in well-doing. Don't quit.
Yeah.
Right? Continue to do good.
Right.
Because when we quit, that's when we get these false understandings of God and we make God a mockery in our lives. Continue to love people. Continue to, it says, especially the household of faith. Right? And that's why I'm bringing it up, because it's so easy to look at it and be like, oh man, this is so horrible. These things are, and these are points that are true, right?
Yeah.
But it's not the truth. The truth is, we can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, but I need to go to the one who strengthens me.
Yeah.
Faith is powered by love.
Mm-hmm.
You can't walk in faith without love. So you need the love of Christ that surpasses all knowledge that we're thinking that we know that causes us to be prideful to think, man, this is too big. I don't want to hear anything you're saying.
Yeah.
The government is horrible.
We can't go in there. There's giants in that land. Yeah.
And that keeps us, we're making a mockery of God because we're literally saying, without saying it, God can't do it.
God can't do it. Yeah. You're right. All right. Well, I want to go on to, we were talked about Snap. We showed last week how there's a lot of things about Snap that are being uncovered through this benefits thing being shut down. And last week we showed how, the top 5 or 6 recipients of SNAP benefits in the country are illegal immigrants and especially Afghani Americans. I think it was, yeah. And now Kristi Noem came out and gave us another bombshell report. You can pull this up, Mom.
Madam Secretary, how does that happen?
It happens when you put a train wreck like Joe Biden in the White House, and it's going to be a lot of work to clean it up. But just in the last 4.5 years, we've had over 9 million people get Social Security numbers that are not U.S. citizens. So they may be people who have some sort of legal status, but a lot of them are illegals that were given a Social Security number in just the last 4.5 years. That we're going to have to figure out if they should be here, if they are here legally under a program, and if they are here illegally, then they certainly shouldn't be using that Social Security number to be on our programs, and they should be removed or given the opportunity.
So we're finding out that all of these systems, especially under Biden, are completely infiltrated and corrupted by the illegals that were coming in here. She was talking about Social Security. They're going to talk about SNAP. Also, I think this is the clip here, but she was also talking about how there was, I think, the Doge, when Doge was when Elon Musk was in charge of Doge, they did something where they asked for the numbers from, they realized that a lot of states, their SNAP benefits numbers weren't matching, the numbers were off. So they asked for an audit from every state. And I think 30 states refused to send the numbers in. And the ones that did, they found all these discrepancies of people that were being paid out that didn't deserve. A lot of illegal immigrants were getting SNAP benefits. I think Hawaii was one of the big culprits, but I think they're going to talk about that here.
Day one of USDA, February 13th, is we sent letters to every governor in America being very clear that no illegal aliens can use SNAP. 0, 0, 0. We asked every state for the first time in history, and this was in February, to send us their data and let us, with Doge and a war room, actually start going through this data to better understand how this explosion of SNAP benefits happened under Joe Biden. We increased almost 40% on this program in just a couple of years under the Biden administration. Of course, we know they were trying to buy the election, but that's a conversation for another time. And since we have asked for that data, 29 states have complied. Of course, almost all the red states, a couple of couple blue states too. But in that data, and I haven't talked about this yet publicly, in that data we've studied about $100 billion in spend. We have found thousands and thousands of illegal use of the EBT card. We have been moving people off of SNAP. We've got almost 700,000 people, I think, we've moved off just since the president took office. We've arrested about 118 people. So this has been ongoing. But Rachel, to your point, what this conversation has allowed is a national spotlight on a broken and corrupt program. We found one guy in 6 different states getting a benefit. We found about 5,000 people that are dead who are still getting benefits. It is time to drastically reform this program so that we can make sure that those who are truly needy, truly vulnerable, are getting what they need, and the rest of the corruption goes away, and we can serve the American taxpayer.
Yeah, and that's something that I had no idea that under Joe Biden, the SNAP program increased 40%. Wow. Wow. How is that possible?
Yeah. I mean, we talked about on here with the immigrants. Remember the thing with the Haitians, and people were saying, like, who worked at the stores, like, seeing their, because, they put the on the receipt, you can see the amount.
Yeah.
And how much they have left.
They're saying like $30,000,
Yeah,
like
we showed
crazy
that.
amounts,
Yeah. And like she said, the reason they were trying to buy a political votes.
Yeah.
That's the reason. The reason is they were promised if they come here and you're gonna get this and you're gonna have to vote for them.
Yeah.
That's really what that is.
And why wouldn't they vote for them? They're the ones that are gonna keep funding my life. I don't have to work. I get free benefits. I get housing. I get money.
$6 billion in New York was spent.
Right.
I mean, that's crazy.
When the serpent spoke to Eve in the garden, the serpent sounded like he cared about Eve, right?
Right.
Let me give you some information that's going to help you.
Yeah.
These people are acting like they care. Even maybe there are people who actually care, but their care is bad care, right? So, again, my point is, God is not mocked. Whatever you sow to the flesh, you're going to reap what? Corruption, right? So again, what does it mean to sow to the flesh? It means to figure it out in my own mind, my own understanding for myself. I want to make, I want to help somebody. Well, why do you want to help somebody? I want to feel good about myself. Oh, so it's actually selfish, right?
Yep.
I want to help somebody because I see people struggling out there. Okay, that's different. That's a little different, right?
Yeah.
It's outside of yourself. So now we're getting to something separate from yourself. That's where love can creep in. All right, so that has to be disciplined, right? That has to be discipled. So whatever you sow to the Spirit, that's the Spirit. Whatever you sow to the Spirit, you'll reap eternal life. You'll start to see life flow. And that's true care, right? That's true healing. And that has fruit attached to it. You're going to start to see the fruit. What's the fruit of the Spirit? Whatever you sow to the Spirit, you're going to see the fruit of the Spirit. What is it? It's kindness, right? It's joy, right? It's faith, people having faith, right? You see all these things start to come up. This is what happens when people are actually working in the Spirit of God. Like, think about it. When we do something in the spirit of that thing, it's the actual intention and meaning of that thing, right? So you have, like, if there's people who actually want these things to work, that's in the spirit of God, right? Whether they know it or not. If somebody is saying, I really want this to work, I'm seeing all this corruption, I'm seeing all this stuff, like, it's horrible the way these systems we got set up, right? Snap, right? The way it's working. She's talking about it. We're seeing all this corruption. We got to fix this. Why? We want to actually help people.
Yeah.
If there's one person, two people that are in there that actually want to help people, actually want to bring things to people in the right way, dude, we're starting to get. You can connect to that, right? You can connect people to that because it's the right intention, it's the right heart, right? And from that, you'll start to see abundance happen, true abundance, right?
Yeah.
But there's got to be more of that. And I think for so long, like, we're talking about all these things that have happened in the government, but why have they happened? For your own selfish reasons. You come into agreement with somebody else to benefit you.
Yeah.
Why are you going to... Think about all the times we've had contracts offered to us. It's to benefit them, and they try to make it look like it's to benefit us, right? But when you actually step outside of yourself and you look at it, no, that's not going to... That's actually going to hinder me.
Yeah.
Right?
America's Got Talent was one of the big ones I remember.
Right.
Yeah.
But when you're so caught up in yourself, you'll miss all those things. And you'll surrender to it. Okay, and make an agreement.
Yeah.
lobbying. That's what lobbying is. Like, it's your own selfish. The people who are lobbying, they have what's their agenda?
It's whoever they work for. They're trying to get their agenda passed in
political favors. Yeah.
And then how are they bargaining?
With money.
But how are they bargaining? I'm saying, like, not just with money. They're making deals based off of what I can get to you or your constituents or the agenda your people want to push, right? And a lot of times it's selfish. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's all that's the root of this stuff. A lot of it is selfish, and we can start to see this stuff. But it's in the deception of actually caring for people.
Yeah. Well, pull this up, Mom. New York City mayor general election is being called for Zohran Mamdani.
Sad day, man.
Zohran Mamdani. 14% of the vote in, but they are projecting him to win. Andrew Cuomo only got 40%. He got 51.4 so far. But you see that Curtis Silwa really affected his numbers, Cuomo's numbers. But yeah, so. And, we're talking about SNAP. We're talking about how many people are dependent on this this government assistance. They're talking about 47 million Americans. Like, the fact that it is that many people is horrible. And the fact that, people don't want to work. Like, when you have this type of system in place, it incentivizes people to not work. Yeah. And you create an environment where people don't feel like they need to work. Why should I work? And that's going to take me into what I wanted to talk about with you, James. Like, you... Okay. You sent me some videos here where you wanted to talk about jobs. You wanted to talk about what you're seeing in your field and how people are talking about there's no jobs, and when you see the opposite, you see that there's a demand for workers and no one wants to do certain jobs. Sure. That's the problem, is that people are indoctrinated into what a job is and what's a good job, and societally what's considered a dirty job or an ugly job, and a lot of times it has to do with the trades. So you sent me this video by Mike Rowe is talking to somebody, asking them a question. Mike Rowe is the guy who was in dirty jobs. So we'll play this real quick. I need to.
We got a skills gap. It's wide. It's big. We got 7.2 million men who are not participating in the workforce, not looking for work. We got $1.7 trillion in student loans on the books. We got 7.6 million open positions that don't require a 4-year degree. And yet, we keep lending money we don't have to kids who are never going to be able to pay it back to train them for jobs that don't exist anymore. If we want to close the skills gap, we got to make a more persuasive case for millions of good jobs that nobody knows about and nobody understands. These are 6-figure jobs or opportunities that lead straight to a 6-figure career. They're everywhere. And if we don't reinvigorate the trades, I'm afraid the president's best efforts to bring manufacturing back to these shores is going to run into a real roadblock. We need an enthused workforce, skilled for the jobs that are out there.
Yeah, well said. As I was telling you, I'm a railroad mechanic. I've been doing that for 25 years. I've been doing side work as an auto mechanic my entire life. I have 4 kids. We own a house. We've been able to live comfortably because of that one skill set of being able to do something mechanically. And
you're not the problem. You should be on a billboard. People should look at your life as an example of what can happen when you master a skill that's in demand and work your ass off. That's still for sale. It's still important. And we have to get in front of that message, and we have to reinvigorate the trades in a way that makes this generation of kids look at careers like the ones you had and go, yeah, damn Skippy, I'd do that.
And these aren't the jobs that are going to be replaced by AI. The plumbers, the electricians, the mechanics, they're not going to be replaced by AI. Yet all these things that people are trading their entire future for, they're all going to be replaced by AI.
You said it, not me, but something tells me your days working on the railroad could not have been done by a robot.
100%. Mike Rowe, I took up enough of your time. Thank you so much for giving me a chance to speak.
Thanks for doing what you do.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Mike.
it.
Right.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I have a heart for people. I live here. I'm an American. I have a heart for people. So when I see people complaining and crying on the internet, I know a lot of it is rhetoric and it's attention seeking. But at the same time, I work in a field in the skilled trades where I do feel like a lot of people just don't want to do this.
Yeah.
And the last 4 years watching the co-opting of the skilled trades by undocumented workers. Now, I'm not blaming them either.
Right.
Because if I'm honest, and you guys are familiar with this too, there's a massive influx. Why? Because they try to lower skilled trades, the pay. These guys get paid very little.
Absolutely.
They're undocumented. You don't have to worry about safety. You don't have to worry about certain things. They're being paid half the price that a skilled guy would pay. However, Americans were very easy and very willing to give up those jobs because they didn't want them.
Mm-hmm.
So there is the argument to be said, well, people don't want to do it. I get that. But there's a lot of people who just don't want to do those jobs are not considered glamorous. That's not jobs that people pursue.
Well, why is that?
Well, I think there was a campaign. He did a great job. He didn't espouse on it here, but he did a great job before explaining that there was this campaign of college over trades has been going on for about 40 years now. There was a legitimate campaign to make people abandon the skilled trade because this is what built America.
Right.
This is what built America was working men and women. And that manufacturing was huge. There's a lot of people who lived great lives working in their local towns, but these jobs were banned and sent overseas. We know it's because of political and a lot of things, corporations, but still and yet there's still a lot of work here right now that I just feel a lot of people will look past. Now we're seeing the language starting to change a little bit more because people are realizing what electricians and plumbers get paid.
Mm-hmm.
And so, again, they're looking at it as the money, but it's a valuable part of our society.
Yeah.
Is having people with these skills.
It's important.
It's important. So when I look at these people crying on social media about their benefits being taken away, and I ask myself, would most of these people, because Home Depot just announced, I don't know if you guys saw this, Home Depot is doing free online certifications. Now, this is, you're not going to run out and be a plumber the next day, but it is a step into you getting online and understanding the fundamentals of plumbing, the basics. Google is offering certificates in project management. These things are free, but they're not pushed by your local townships, by your local governors. They're not being pushed. So think about all these jobs that we willingly gave to undocumented workers because we weren't interested in them because they weren't glamorous.
Not only were they not glamorous, but we came up during an era where if you were in a trade school, you failed.
That's very true. That's
like
true.
Your parents were not impressed to tell their friends that you were in carpentry school.
Very true.
Your parents wanted to say you are going to this college, that college. You got accepted by this one, that one, and this one. You're in Ivy League. Like that was a status symbol.
Yes.
When we were coming up, and probably Gen X as well. You know what I mean?
It's changing now, but you're right. You're right.
So there was this big push societally as well, and I think a lot of that had to do with propaganda. When you look at all the
big time
movies, TV shows, everything, like all of the heroes, all of the corporate execs, the guys that it was the people that went to college, got their degrees, and at that time, a degree did kind of guarantee you a great job, and that America was in a different position then. But then when you start introducing a government-backed loan system by the banks to then prop up these college tuitions to make it more accessible for everyone. Now you're flooding the market with these degrees. All of a sudden, degrees start losing value.
Right. And this started happening in the early 2000s.
Yes.
Was when it happened. And you're right. To just expound on that a little bit, I would say trade schools were relegated to kids that didn't pass, kids that were not coming.
Yeah.
They were sort of trouble kids.
When we were young, they used to make fun of all the kids that didn't do good in school, and they say, "You're gonna go where?" No, what was the name? What was the name of the school? You remember? Your phone's not. Your mic's not on. Yeah. You don't remember where everybody be like, yo, you gonna end up at
Voki.
Voki.
Oh,
Right.
You remember that?
Yes, I do remember that.
That was a
Right.
joke
That was
when
a
we
joke.
were
That was a
young.
joke.
That was
That's
like
true.
that was a way to embarrass somebody. It's like, yo, you about to go to Voki.
Oh yeah.
And what was Voki?
Vocational
A
school.
vocational school teaching kids trades, mechanics,
it's true.
carpentry.
There was dancing in Voki too.
There was?
Yeah.
Oh, I
What
didn't
is that
know
noise?
That's my chair hitting the thing.
Oh.
Yeah, because I'm too close to this. But yeah, you're gonna end up at Voki.
Yeah.
So like even like it was seen as, like we said, it was seen as you failing in a sense.
Right.
You know.
You're a failure. If you
Yeah.
so you're not going yeah,
You
because
can't
I
cut
do
it.
remember that. I do
Yeah.
remember that. I remember even going to Camden County,
Yeah.
you were
Yeah.
considered sort
Community college is
How-
seen as a loss.
of right.
How did American people fall for that though?
It was language.
Weak.
To go back.
Because
remember that
if you look at it, the world needs mechanics to function.
Yeah.
Planes, trucks that
Yeah, but-
bring food to everybody across the country.
Come on, man, Jay-Z. We don't believe you. Need more.
No, I think
I don't know.
you got to think of a time when people were being sold a dream about the corporate life, the
Yes.
CEO, the vice president, everything that we were watching on TV, movies. It was about going to college,
Sex and the City, Entourage, they're living this dream life.
living the dream life.
Right.
We were watching Cribs, we were watching Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. None of these people were mechanics.
Yeah.
You know
That's
what I'm
true.
saying?
I mean, even in like black culture or in the hood, like it's more basketball player.
Yeah, you're an
football
athlete,
player.
you're a drug dealer, you're a
Yeah.
rapper, you're some kind of entertainer.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
something other than a trade.
You're right. It happened with the active indoctrination process
Mm-hmm.
that this form of a living was just not anything glamorous, or it just wasn't appealing.
Yeah,
Right. Not to mention the idea that vocational school was a glorified detention center.
Yes,
That's what it was.
Yeah, it was.
Right. It was. You know,
All the bad kids went to Voki.
all the bad kids went to
Yeah.
Voki, and we didn't see at that time. There was really no way for us to see the crippling debt that came with a useless college degree. Who would have known?
Well, at that time, until the student loan thing, like again, there was financial aid, there was these government things, but until these government-backed student loans, like that changed everything.
It did.
Because what it did was, the promises was everyone's going to have access to school. These are things that you'll be able to pay up back with your degree, blah, blah,
And the
blah.
campaign that Hillary ran something, and it was called, I don't remember the name of it, but she basically, it was her, plenty of politicians said, studies show that a person with a four-year college degree will earn $1 million plus.
Right.
Over their counterparts.
and their counterparts. And this was, what study?
It was an active campaign. Yeah,
What
exactly.
study?
No one questioned that. I mean,
And no one could account for the fact that, like, now that government is backing these loans to these universities, they can up their tuition,
which they did.
I think I have something here that shows that, in 1985, the average college tuition was $4,500. The average.
And relative to inflation, yes, I know people would say, okay, it was high but it's still way more affordable.
No, it's the highest inflation rate of anything in the history of anything.
Oh my God. See, this gets worse.
Yeah.
The highest inflation rate, the average right now is $48,000 for college tuition. And that can only happen because they know that money is backed by the government.
Yeah. I was watching something where a woman who worked with a college, like her job was just to call the colleges. I mean, not the colleges, I'm sorry. Call students. Try to get students in. to get loans. Like, just to get students in. Because, again, think about it. Like, even they're predicated on the loans. If they're giving them this money, they need people to come in to receive these loans, right? So that they can then get the money from the loans.
Yeah.
Right.
What's the average inflation rate increase? Let's look it up. The inflation increase rate. I'm gonna look it up real quick.
$4,500, huh?
Yeah. That's why I'm saying, like, so going to college back then made more sense. You could afford to go.
Right. Are you guys on Facebook?
No, I'm not right now. Why?
I am.
No.
Oh, you mean is the stream on Facebook?
Yeah.
Should be.
It's live.
Let's see.
Should be. Let me see. So, the inflation rate since 1985 has gone up 4.1%, I think it's saying here. 4.1. It's hard. Sometimes Grok just gives you all this
other information.
Yeah.
It's gone off 4.1.
Right. Well, to just add to what we're talking about, I would say that, I think that a big part of it is culturally we look down on people that work with their hands.
Mm-hmm.
We have a problem where if you're working in any form of trade, you're seen or you're deemed lesser than. So kids see that and they see the language associated with that, or they see the way it used to be, and people just don't find that glamorous. They don't want to be in that.
Yeah.
So I think that when you start thinking, when I looked at all these people crying and people talking about the job and the economy, I think a lot of it was they were willing to give up things that they didn't like to people who they felt were lesser than them.
Absolutely. They felt it was beneath them.
This is beneath me.
Well, like I said, if you're constantly being programmed, I'll say, into believing that if I have to do that, I failed.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're gonna relegate that to the people that are beneath you. You're gonna say, okay, well that's good for them, but I need to be doing this.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And subsequently, what they don't see is this: that guy who you said, I don't want that, you could have it. In a few years,
he's
if
gonna
done
be
right,
doing better than you.
He has a couple trucks on the road.
Yeah.
He has a crew going. You know what I mean?
But don't you think like the powers that be that want a certain system in place would rather you be $100,000 in debt?
Oh, of
and
course.
a slave
it
to the
benefits
system
them, yes.
Than to be a guy who has a couple trucks on the road and independence.
And that's why I ask you to help me out with this, because like I said, the point is that it benefits the larger corporations because
and the banks
because there's really there's three parties being the banks, number one, the universities, and then the labor, the big companies who can hire cheap labor.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Because then they can say there's no one to fill these jobs.
No one to fill these
we
jobs.
Need workers.
And you're on the internet bragging about ain't nobody want no daggone plumber.
Right.
Well, fine. We got this guy over here.
So I got the final number. So since 1985, just for comparison, overall inflation in the entire country has raised 183%. Right. So like $1 in 1985 would cost about $2.83 now. When you look at the tuition,
that's high. Still,
that's still high, right? That's 180 something percent. Yeah. Tuition since 1985, 967% increase.
That's insane. That's insane.
So if you go by the number 4,500 in 1985, by the inflation rate, it would be around like 10,000. Right.
Yeah, if you went with the normal inflation rate, it would be.
That's still affordable.
Right.
Still affordable.
Think about
That's
that.
Affordable.
If you had to pay $10,000 in tuition now, you could probably make that work. If you had to get out a student loan for that, and pay that back, $48,000.
And most parents paid for their kids, by the way.
Yeah.
You couldn't do it now.
Right.
$10,000. That's what they're paying for soccer.
Right.
Soccer tuition.
Yeah. Right now, speaking of college and the tie-in, can you play that clip of
which one?
The girls talking about their degrees?
Oh, yeah. And again, so
that's the one that we play all the time.
We've played this on here before. And again, like, this is what we're talking about. When you have a system.
Hi, I'm Melanie.
When you have a system that that tells people you gotta go to college, you gotta get a degree, take out a student loan, the government's backing it, blah blah blah. No, there's no other guidance beyond that. I remember when we went to college, nobody was telling us, giving us the format. No, these are the places where you're going to make money. There's people going to get degrees in whatever. Yeah. So this video went viral a while ago. We played it, but this is an example of why people are in the position they're in now.
Hi, I'm Melanie. I'm studying the unseen body in creative spaces, erasure and exposure of the queer.
Hey, I'm Nina, and I studied the arts, education, and social justice.
I'm Joyce. I studied decolonial intimacies, indigenous politics of resistance.
I'm Victoria, and I studied remembering or forgetting, navigating international conflict through collective memory.
Hi, I'm Kira, and I studied textiles and environmental justice.
Hi, I'm Nunyala. I'm studying living artfully, art as ritual therapy and pathways of decoloniality.
I'm Naomi, and I'm studying Black political economy.
Hi, I'm Natalie, and I'm studying fashion history and gender studies.
Hi, my name is Marie, and my concentration is the radical disruption for survival, development in sub-Saharan Africa, through social anthropology.
Hi, I'm Ava, and I study woman, fugitive family, relationships, and identity, the transformative Black woman.
And all these people work at Starbucks now, or they're on TikTok trying to be influencers so that they can make some money on social media, complaining about why their EBT and SNAP is not getting restarted in November 1st because
yelling "No Kings."
Yeah, at the No Kings protest,
but
because
begging the king for money.
Most of these people are probably $100,000 in student loan debt,
and it's sad.
Yeah,
it's sad because they're victims. These people are victims of a system that they don't even know how. They don't even know what it is. They couldn't explain it, and to come up with, because none of these degrees existed. I would say at least 2 years ago, between 2 to 4 years.
Absolutely not. But when you have an influx of thousands, and remember when we did that show at Penn State and we couldn't believe how many people were on that campus? Like, how do you find degrees for all these people?
It was like going.
You have to create these programs to accommodate everybody's whims and wants, because there's not enough. You can't have enough engineering degrees. You can't have, like, you don't. Everybody is not going to be cut out. They're all going to fail.
Right.
It's like we get focused on we get focused on one thing. Like, I'm hearing them, and you get focused on this one little thing. It really doesn't even, like, when you look at the whole scheme of everything, it means nothing. Right. It's like if I told the kids, hey, I want you to really get good at L pullbacks.
Yeah.
Focus on that. Just do an L pullback. I'm talking about soccer. Do an L pullback. You got to be able to do this L pullback really, really good. Just focus on the L pullback, but only with your right foot. Don't worry about your left foot. Just do the L pullback with your right foot. They're going to get in the game. That's going to help them. Not at all.
At all, yeah.
Not at all.
It's going to do nothing for their game.
Nothing. Because they don't understand the nothing.
Yeah.
It's going to do nothing. And I think this is where we're at right now with that kind of stuff.
Well, that's why when you have Doge go through and eliminate a lot of these government jobs, these people are the ones that are most affected, because and this is like another trick from the government. It was like, oh, we created all these jobs. They were all government jobs.
Yeah.
You know how easy it is to create a government job?
Yeah.
You just create a department and fill a bunch of seats with people getting paid to do nothing.
But again, like, they're saying all these things, and it's like, oh, I care about this because somebody they told me I should care about this.
Yeah.
And then I think I'm doing something good and I'm caring for others because I'm doing this, when really nobody cares.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, nobody actually cares, and you're not caring for anything. Like, it doesn't matter.
And sad to say, they're so young too that they can't see that they're participating in their own demise.
And think about it. Whoever is their leadership in their lives, their mentorship, they're just telling them to go to college. That's why you have people bragging about, oh, we're the most educated in the world right now. Like, we're the most degrees, but what does that matter?
Right.
It doesn't. It's knowledge that means nothing.
Right.
It's not. It's a bunch of knowledge and a bunch of learning. Always learning, never coming to the knowledge of the truth. Something I wanted to bring up. I used to drive for Uber, and I had this guy in my car, and he did like debt collecting, but it was for like college loans, right? And it was big college loans, and it was like doctors and lawyers, because they go to school the longest. And he was just telling me, like, man, these people are in debt, and because you can see everything. You can see their house loans, everything. He was just explaining to me, like, you think on the outside it would look like they have it all together, but really they're stressed out and struggling,
right?
To try to.
They're trying to float everything to keep it from all coming crashing down.
And it looks, it's very deceptive, because it seems like,
man, we have a friend that fought and like had a rough life and fought to get his PhD. And I remember like me congratulating him and being so proud of him. And he was like, bro, I'll probably never get out of debt. He was like, you're probably better off than me.
Wow. That's a shame.
And it's a sad, and I want to play this clip. We played it on here before, but to your point, when you have a society, and this is again elected officials, straight up saying to black people, you don't want these jobs. This is Jasmine Crockett on stage talking about how nobody wants these jobs at these, like, we shouldn't be getting rid of immigrants because y'all don't want to do these jobs. So let's play this.
How many of you are sending your kids to college to go and work on them? Okay, well, guess who is working the farms? So that you can afford your food.
So that you can have food.
So that you can have food. Now, how many of you are looking to send your kids into hospitality after this college education so that they can go and make the beds at the hotels? How many of you are planning to send your kids to college? Because that's what we do here. We send everybody to college. How many of you are planning to send your kids to college so that they can then go and build these houses? So the reality is that so long as we live in a capitalist society, there's always going to be someone or a group of people that will do work that some of the rest of y'all don't want to do. These are the people that are really making us great in this country.
So she's laying it out right there for them.
And
these
sad.
Jobs are beneath. You're going to college.
It's very
These
sad.
jobs are beneath you.
And it's sad because, like I said, I do, I'm often one of one black guy.
Right.
On a job.
Work sites,
and, it is sad because, like I said, there's so much opportunity because what she's saying is idiotic. I get what she's trying to do, but the nearsightedness of that, because if you had told Indians who came over, I just watched this thing about Indians in the 80s, came over and got involved in the motel business. Most people don't know that.
Yes, we know some.
They got involved in the motel business. It was two brothers.
The crappy motels.
Yeah. And now.
Patels, right?
Yeah, Patels.
Now on the East Coast, heading over to the West Coast, but the East Coast, all up and down the East Coast, Indians own almost 80 to 90% of the motels are owned by them. And they're up in chains now, like even with like the higher name ones that are not completely separate, but like franchised.
Yeah.
They own a lot of them. They've built their wealth like that. To say something like that is so irresponsible because you're not saying, okay, the entrepreneur spirit that says, okay, yes, you can go work cleaning a hotel, but the aspiration is you will own it.
You will own it, yeah.
Right? And through that, the other aspect of it that I hate to hear people talk about is that believe it or not, those jobs bring humility, and you understand. You have a deeper understanding when you participate in these processes, because when you do get to ownership, you know what it takes to get a room ready. You understand that you don't actually need the college degree.
You don't need to pay
you don't need it.
some corporate manager to come in and tell you how to run your business. Yeah.
I watch it. You guys remember George Zimmerman, the warehouse
Bizarre
guy?
Foods?
No, not him. Men's Warehouse.
Men's Warehouse, yes.
Men's Warehouse.
Yes.
You know how he started? It was so interesting to watch his story. He's off, he's no longer affiliated with Men's Warehouse. He got
they bought him out. Yeah.
But he said, I'll tell you how I went wrong. He said, I'll tell you how I went right, and then I'll tell you how I went wrong. I went right because back in when he proposed the business in the 70s, he said to get into a mall and to pay the franchise, the fee to get in for rent was astronomical. He's like, and then they wanted you to fill the space because back then you couldn't just get into the mall. You had to actually have a certain amount of decor and like you have space for women and for this and for that, and do you have fitting rooms for this and all this stuff? And he's like, we focus on a male clientele. And someone says, why don't you go to strip malls? He's like, nope, my clothes is too high end for that. Well, after running up to so many roadblocks, he pivoted and said, okay, fine, I'll go to the strip mall. He went to the strip mall and he realized, yeah, I really don't need a space in the mall. I don't really need that. It was cheaper rent. The insurance was cheaper. He's like, and I can actually have, instead of having a staff of 24 to rotate to fit the mall hours, I could open from 10 o'clock to 6 o'clock and be closed. And I facilitate men only. And so his thing was like, what's something I looked down on was actually a blessing. He's like, now I'm going to tell you my downfall. He's like, my downfall started when we started to grow bigger and bigger and bigger. He's like, I had 5 to 6 employees, and a lot of those guys started with him when they were in high school because we could pay teenagers. You're just getting clothes, you had a tailor on site, et cetera, et cetera. He said, shortly after that, I started to get into, well, let's just take this thing bigger. Let's get commercial. Remember his commercial was, you like the way you look. He said, I got involved. I started hiring people. I left and abandoned, because he's like, I promoted most of these people that were managers and regional managers were people that were with me from high school.
Yeah.
So during that time, I was convinced by
Didn't
the
he hired some like big
a Pepsi
corporate
guy.
exec? Yes.
He had a Pepsi guy.
Right.
And he came in and changed everything. You get rid of this. You need the skinny suits. You need and he's like, that was not my clientele. He's like, when I began to push back, they eventually voted him out. He's like, I abandoned what got me to the dance. So what we see a lot of times is this nearsightedness that she's mentioning here is as though you could never do anything with a basic form of introduction to business.
Yeah.
And how do many people start off? Look at Ray Kroc. Look at all these other people who took a small idea and said,
Steve Jobs.
I could exactly.
And he did the same thing. He hired a Pepsi exec and got voted out of his own business.
So I'm saddened by this because I feel like one of the things that people forget the money and forget fixing things. But one of the things that the skill trade does is it builds character.
Not only that, it's an entrepreneurial spirit.
Yes.
And that's something that existed in the black community heavily.
For a long time.
For a long time. Our great-grandfather was laying plumbing work all through North Carolina.
Exactly.
But what she's speaking on right there is divorcing people from that idea.
Right.
And telling them,
You're
you don't
too
need
good.
to do, yeah, you're
and
too
there's
good
something
for that.
even more sinister. And I was talking to my wife about this. There's something even more sinister that she's not talking about, which is this, is the handicapping of black men and black women, because once you have the black woman who is highly educated, looking down on the skill trade black man, she doesn't want him. He's not glamorous.
Yeah.
And so
I need someone on my level.
I need someone on my level.
Yeah.
Right? So
which we have a clip of Ebony K. Williams
right.
talking to her.
Please.
Yeah.
So let me just finish this point.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I was talking to my wife about this. I said, listen, we have so many complaints about quote unquote black love, black unity, all this stuff like that. But when you have a group of people who are saying, I'm so educated and you are just a mechanic, you are just a plumber, you're just a carpenter, you're not on my level. So you and I could never meet because we can't join forces because you don't have the titles and or above me.
Yeah.
Then you're complaining that there's not enough qualified black men, but you don't even like these kind of black men.
Right.
Kevin Samuels talked about this when he said you would divorce your man and hire the government as yours.
Yeah.
Right? So this connection, like I said, is not just cut and dry. And the reason I'm talking to her about this, I said, how many black women we know that are single but wouldn't choose a plumber or carpenter because they're beneath him?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so there's a bigger monster at play here, which is this. People like her will handicap the next generation by that talking point.
Right. And like something that Mike Rowe pointed out that was very poignant was that like a lot of these jobs that these people are getting in debt to get, AI is replacing all of this.
That's another big point.
Ebony K. Williams, that we're about to show this clip where she went viral for talking about she wouldn't date a bus driver. She's a lawyer. people are finding out that a lot of these lawyer jobs, unless you're like top, it's about to be over. Because
Right.
AI,
And she's a single mother now too.
AI can handle all the legal stuff for you.
Yeah, paralegals.
Yes.
I heard transit driver. Transit? Is it transit? The bus driver?
I think so.
They make pretty good money.
They do make good money.
They make really good money.
So you're saying like to be in the court, which is what I think most people think lawyers are.
Yeah.
You know, like they go into the courts.
Right, and they argue cases.
Yeah, like
Not a lot of them are that.
Very few.
Yeah. A lot of them are analysts. A lot of them
Paperwork.
are doing research.
Yeah.
Like, but now these are things that AI can handle.
My friend just
Better.
lost her job.
Yeah.
She's a paralegal. They got rid of her.
AI can do all of that.
Yeah.
And do it perfect.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
No mistakes. Yeah. So let's play this clip. Mom, if you pull it up for me, please. This went viral a while ago.
Would you date a bus driver? Would you date
If
a
he
bus
owns
driver?
the bus. If he owns
No.
it. If he owns the bus.
See,
he
that's
owns
a
it.
problem. That's a problem. That's a problem. Because the standards and requisites, and I'm not talking about him laying on his sofa playing video games all day. I'm not talking about that. But the standards and the criteria that we use to measure men is off for who we are as women and who they are in this society. I would date a bus driver if he loved driving the bus, if he was a man of integrity, if he was good to his mama, if he treated me well, I would date a bus. Would you?
Yeah, but
she, by the way, Iyanla Vanzant got kicked off the OWN network for doing this kind of stuff.
Right, because she told black women they were out of order.
Right. She addressed her. She said she was out of order.
Yes.
But she didn't recognize that she saw it in her son. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And so, so we were having this conversation. I'm telling you, this is the problem. The problem is there is work.
Yeah.
There is work.
I hear a lot of people, especially in the trades, talking about they need
There's
workers.
work. And I'm not saying that you have to be a plumber, but there's facilitation, there's replenishment, there's office work. There's a lot of work. But you don't want that job.
Yeah.
Also, I would say, she was talking about hotels, hospitality. Basically, like the lowest job in there is housekeeping, right?
Right.
But how many people need a job?
Yes.
Like, just need a job. Just need to get a job.
If you are relying on the government to feed you,
right.
If you are in a position where you losing these benefits on November 1st is the detriment to your entire family, you need to be doing something.
Right. And to just that's where the humbling comes in. Like humble yourself to say, I need something. I got to do something, and and do it.
And and the other part of it is that if you are actually good at if you're good at it, it wouldn't take long for management to see and move you up to a better position, because a lot of times people are just, I'm telling you, people are just waiting for you to say, give me the opportunity. In church, Corey, my boss, I went to him, I said, hey man, listen, I really want to learn electrical. He said, when can you start?
That's how much they need people.
That's how much and I said, listen, I know the basics. I'm not gonna lie. He said, listen, you have a truck, show up on time, don't call out. I've been with him for a year now. I'm getting it for free. I was gonna pay like what Nana did and go. And I thought about that. I was like, I have 2 kids, I have a wife. I would have to take a severe pay cut and I would have to dedicate myself. And he's like, why do all that? He's like, I'll teach you everything you need to know. And you're gonna get paid. So humble yourself. That's what I'm saying. It's like we're at this point where we do not want to humble ourselves. We have this thing where we feel like we could run to the internet and cry, and there's lots of work. Manufacturing and the trades are wide open because no one wants to do it.
Yeah.
So I feel for people. This is not to castigate or anything like that. It's just to show people like, listen, what you're crying about is an easy solution. You just don't want the solution. You know what I mean? Like where Peter Lumber, they're like, hey, you guys know anybody that's willing to do office hours? They need people. But that's beneath you. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so we were down in South Carolina a couple months back, and it's mostly Southerners. So it's pretty much like older middle-aged women, so white women, black women, and they were doing a great job. And at the end of it, after the couple of days, the one lady that was so polite and so sweet, I went up to her and I gave her $100, and she was so thankful of that.
Yeah.
And she said, "Thank you." She's like, I was like, "No, this is for you."
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "You know why?" She said, "Why?" She said, "I said every morning you said, 'Good morning, sir. How are you doing? How's your day?'"
Mm-hmm.
And I think what people misunderstand is that this lady was so touched by that, but I realized this. I wanted to reward her for that.
Right.
And I think a lot of people miss this. These small jobs may not bring a lot of cash, but they're necessary. But once you have interaction with people, and I told that lady, I said, "Listen," I said, "Thank you so much for," because she would talk to the kids.
Mm-hmm.
She would see them, "Hello, good morning,"
Mm-hmm.
Things like that. It's like when people like Ebony K. Williams talk like this, it makes it look like these people who do this are stepping stones.
Yeah.
That's all they're there for.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because she's clearly making a distinction between you don't want that for your kids.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? But where were we 60 years ago?
Yeah.
Where was the black population 60 years? We would have been in the porter positions.
Mm-hmm.
We would have been in the servitude position. So to now turn around and say that, to me, is just disheartening. And I feel like this is an opportunity to teach humility. Where, like I said, with the Indians, I've noticed this. Their kids were working there on the weekend.
Yeah.
We went to pick up Chinese food not too long ago. There's a little kid. He couldn't have been older than 9 years old.
Yeah.
He's ringing up stuff.
Dude, the guy you were just bringing up that is on the zoning board in Voorhees. Like, his father came from India, was working for a guy at a gas station in New York, and was like, "I don't like working for this guy."
And
He
probably learned everything.
Learned everything. Him and his brother put their money together, bought a small piece of crap gas station in South Jersey, and he was working there as a little kid.
Yeah.
Then that became 2 gas stations, then 3 gas stations, and then he became in charge of the business. Then they sold for multi-million dollars. You know what I mean? And now he's got running a whole bunch of Indian stuff. And he's sitting on the zoning board helping them make sure they get their proper zoning for
As
their
it should
houses
be.
that they're getting, but it came from the humble beginning
Right.
of, I'm not afraid to pump gas.
And a clear vision of, all right, this is where you're going.
Yeah.
It's not about pumping gas. It's
Yeah.
about understanding what it takes to serve.
Mm-hmm.
You got to get in that position of servitude. And then from there, listen, my father was here. I can't thank him enough
Mm-hmm.
for waking me up. I didn't want to do no carpentry on the weekends.
Yeah.
But he made me do it.
Mm-hmm.
But I have skills today
Yeah.
that because of him,
Right.
I can provide for my family. I can call up anybody I know and be like, "Hey, you need me for a day? Yeah, how much you want? $350. Okay."
Yep.
And that's basic.
Mm-hmm.
Guys are like, "Hey, can you come down to the shore? $500. But they know I have the truck. They know they can literally say, "Can you go here and hang this for me?"
Yeah.
Because
They
I
know
know
you could do it. Yeah.
I remember having to take a bus to Atlantic City, making $5 an hour, but I knew that from there I can make more money, and that's exactly what happened.
Right.
Even I got a job for Jake and Jamie there.
Yeah.
Right.
And
So
you never took SNAP benefits.
Never.
Right.
And God worked it out. Little by
Yeah.
little, I got this job, then a better job, then a better one.
Yeah, I'm just this. For me, I'm disheartened because I feel like because of this kind of language, we have left a certain sector, and we basically say it's beneath us.
Right.
And there's so much opportunity that could come out of this. Not just a trade, but I'm just saying in servitude, in understanding how that works. What's the number one complaint with minority-based restaurant? It don't matter. They ain't got it.
Yeah.
It ain't ready.
Or
we
the
don't have
service
it.
is bad.
Because we're not trained.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, like, all of this stuff, I say, if we got better at servitude.
Mm-hmm.
Well, think about this. People want to have the thing, and they want to be the king. They want to be the owner.
Absolutely, yeah.
But they don't want to
I was
first
just
serve.
thinking of Kirk Franklin's podcast. And they call everybody kings
Oh.
on there.
Oh, gosh.
Everybody wants to be kings and
Yeah.
queens,
But
but don't want to do what it takes.
Yeah, they don't want to. They don't want to push people like. It's funny with parents. A lot of times, I think what lacks is communication. Where like parents will do all this stuff, especially parents that are like taking a lot of these jobs. Like, I don't think they know how to communicate, and you can get so caught up in, I don't want you to live like me.
Yeah.
I don't want you to be like me.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
That's a big one. I don't want you to have the life I had.
Right. I don't want you to have the life I had, but then they go too far with it, right? And they focus so much on it that they don't realize, like, but there's value in you too. There's value in what you're doing
and what you've done and what you
and that has shaped you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So, but then you can't have that mentality. Well, you need to go to college because I don't want this for you. Like, what does that mean?
Yeah,
you're setting them up for actual failure though, because you know that's what we heard when we were growing up.
Right.
Like, go to college because I want you to have a better life than me. How did that work out?
Right.
But I wanted to play this clip real quick because this goes into the relationship aspect. I saw this the other day, and what you were talking about the disconnect, especially amongst black women and black men at this point, where they feel like they're above black men in a lot of senses, and that black men are beneath them. This dude was giving a breakdown of it on this podcast.
That's what's his name again? And Dave Wilson, right?
Dave Wilson, yeah.
You submit to your white ass boss every single day, but yet and still you won't submit to your husbands. But then you get on these podcasts, you get on these television shows, you watch these reality shows that are scripted, and you sit up there and you say, I want a man who's a provider. No. Your husband is supposed to be a provider. We out of whack. Iyanla Vanzant told y'all was out of order, and nobody wanted to hear it.
So maybe I feel like with the submission thing, I feel like, because that's like a hot topic on the podcast world with submission, but we keep telling black women to submit to men that don't have their life together. How can you submit? How can you submit to a man who doesn't submit to God? Everybody's not like you.
I understand that.
You are like in the rare percentage.
I get that.
You must know that there are a lot of black men who don't move like you, who are not successful, who don't want to go to school, who don't want to do anything with their life, who don't have any finances, who don't have any ambition, who have nothing to offer but some dick. Okay. So how can we keep telling? And let's talk about it, because let's talk about it. Black women are in record numbers going to college. We're opening degrees. We're getting accolades. We're running nonprofits. There's a large portion of black women who are educating themselves and taking their lives to the next level, while the black men are not reaching those goals. They're not meeting us on those levels.
This man is about to cook, and I want to let his message rock. So here's my couple of quick thoughts. There is nobody telling you how to submit to losers, so stop it. You're strawmanning arguments. You're making things up. And let me be clear, by losers, I'm saying those with nothing else to offer of value besides eggplant. What's interesting, though, is that 50% of black men over the age of 18 are walking around childless, with many of those men, good men, high character, high integrity men, are ignored because they don't meet a financial requirement that you've made in your head based off of some reality TV show. Meanwhile, the ones not worthy of submission are getting y'all boxes and creating babies with you. Second point, stop utilizing your pursuit of education as a way to disqualify a man. Humble yourself, for your degrees don't make you more qualified for the obligation of being a wife. Third point, he said submit to your husband, not an eggplant third leg general. But before that, you must understand what submission is and fully indoctrinate it, because even during the dating and the courting phase, we can tell who is really about that life. Your selective submission is not femininity, it is opportunistic. You can complain about the men all day, and I'm not the one here to say that it's perfect on the male side of the coin, but you must be accountable enough and humble yourself to look in the mirror and see, how can my product on the dating marketplace be improved? Let's let them cook.
Black women are the largest group of entrepreneurs. They also have more degrees. There are more black women in the C-suite, and to quote Dr. Umar Johnson, you don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious?
It's a lot of student loan debt.
You don't find that suspicious?
Go ahead.
Let me finish.
Go ahead.
Black women also have the majority and the highest rate of student loan debt, which means your debt to income ratio is shot. Problem number one. Problem number two is you spend all that time getting these things on you and not getting any learning in you. Having more degrees than a thermometer does not mean that you understand the temperature of our people. On top of that, I don't need a degree to tell you I'm a man. Most of my degrees are sitting in the drawer, and the rest of them are at my mama's house in Arizona. I ain't seen them. It don't matter. Everything I learned in college was about happening outside of the classroom.
But you went to college,
Hold on.
You went to college, though.
I went to college to please my mother. I had a record deal. I was singing backgrounds for Teddy Pendergrass. Let's tell the whole story, not just the parts you like.
Why is college the qualifier?
And
but you still went to college.
Again, most of us, black men specifically, go to college out of pressure from their mamas and their grandmamas, not because it's something to do to better themselves. The school industrial complex is made for black women. There have been several studies on this that talk about how young black boys are automatically labeled as behavior problems. They were labeled as educable, mentally retarded back when Les Brown was in school, and that's going all the way back to the 50s. Then you sit up there and you put them in the programs, then you double down on their reading scores so that you know how many prisons to build. Everything is set up to make sure you rise and think that you are now above us, as opposed to realizing that there's a conspiracy to separate separate you from me.
So how do we fix it is what I'm trying to get at.
I had to, first of all, you sat up there and gave me a 30-minute dissertation on how great black women were doing, but the second
I support my black women, that's all.
I support black women.
I support black men
Here's
too,
the thing.
Look.
The majority of my clients, the majority of my executive staff, my man Ricardo Cordial, who's been a client of mine for 5 years, he will tell you the majority of the people in my executive team are black women. I have put more black women in the 1% than Nick Cannon with a bag of Viagra. So this is not about supporting black women.
Okay.
There's a woman named Anissa Getna who had a nursing business and she had a credit business, and she went and bought her husband. By the time I was done with it, she went and bought her husband a car dealership, then moved to South Africa. She got an AT&T grant. So when it comes to supporting black women, I don't talk about it, I be about it. So that's not the issue. The issue is we need to fix it by divorcing ourselves from their agenda, which is educate our women, make them feel so high up because they got the C-suite positions, they got the degrees, they got the jobs that they put them in, while they disqualify us, underqualify us, tell us we can't do anything, take all of the skilled labor out, and then when they don't take the skilled labor out, they sit there and then make it look like there's something wrong with that. Even look at the movies. There's been Tyler Perry movies where the dude is a mechanic. The least watched Tyler Perry movie is what? Daddy's Little Girls, because God forbid you see a responsible single father and a baby mama who decided that a drug dealer, a YN, is better than a dude that works hard every day, because that's not sexy enough to brag for your friends. You have to understand that this is a psychological op that is played on so many levels that nobody wants to talk about it. So the solution is we go independent, we reject our trash, we stop taking in every piece of bad bitch bullshit that we get. We start looking at the fact that we don't have one black-owned record company, but we got all these black record labels run by palm-colored people with little hats on the back of their heads telling us how we should operate, and then they sit down with Charlamagne and say, oh, well, I just got to eat. Leroy Cohen, you've eaten, bro. You created a 360 deal.
Quick emergency meeting.
Yeah. But anyway, that's the gist of it. He was talking about how yeah, I mean, there's a lot of mixture in there, but the point of it was where he was showing how like black women being educated has put them in a position to feel like that they are above
Unfortunately,
the men,
yes,
the men that could be the entrepreneurs or the plumbers or the bus drivers, the mechanics. Like, so then it makes men feel like, well, I can't go down that route because then the women are out of reach for me. So where do I fit?
Yeah, but again, it's an outward thing.
Yeah.
It's an outward, always learning, never coming to the knowledge of the truth, which is an inward thing.
Right.
Right. And I think they're looking for, what motivates women more than men sometimes is fear. Trying to think about this in the right way. There's the emotion of, what do you call fear and emotion, or anxiety?
I think women are kind of
I
like
think anxiety is an
because they're
emotion,
predisposed to seek out security.
But yeah, so anxiety would probably be the best way to. So because you're anxious, you're going to go and do something, right?
You're going to go
You're
seek
going to be
security
motivated
to end that anxiety. You're going to try to settle in something.
I was talking to Mom about this. Isn't it interesting that emotions have motion?
Motion in it, yeah.
You know, it's about movement, and all emotions come from love in some way, right? It's either a lack of, or it's just an offset of love. And so what does love do? Love fuels faith, right? So we need fuel, but if we're going to the wrong source, we're going to put our faith in something else. We're going to look for certainty in something else because we're afraid.
Right.
Right. And you see that happening a lot. Yeah. And I think we need to just men, the one thing, and I like that we're seeing more men step up, is men have to take a look at themselves internally, right? And then challenge women. But they first have to challenge themselves.
Yeah.
Right? You have to receive love in order to give love.
Yeah. And in a weird way, I think not all of it, but I think the manosphere kind of did a little bit of that.
Yeah.
Where it forced a lot of men to realize that your pursuit is just the flesh, but you'll get that with money, but you'll never get respect.
Yeah.
But I wanted to add something to it and tell me what you guys think, right? Specifically this part. I think what kind of trapped a lot of minorities, specifically black people, was this. The beginning of the power couple. And how I looked at this was this. I'm like, where did this come from? This idea that you're not worthy if you're not a boss.
Mm-hmm.
This the female point of view. You're not worthy to be with me if you're not way above me. You don't have a title that makes me look good.
Right.
And so I think the value in relationships started to only be recognized if you were with somebody who was so valuable that it lift you up too.
Right.
And so I stopped and I said, where did this come from? Because we had examples of good parenting and couple, the Cosbys, all of the sitcoms were strong couples. But something interesting happened when Obama and Michelle became in the public light and he became president. The era of the power couple to the black women became real.
Mm.
And so now, the president, right? Then you add in Jay-Z and Beyonce. You add in all these other subsidiaries that were like, they're making moves. They own this, they own that, they're bosses. And all of a sudden, you're feeling left out. You're relegated to Tony the plumber. That won't do.
Right.
Right?
Can't brag to my friends about this on Instagram.
No. You can't brag to your friend about a bus driver, about a hotel manager. What does he do? You need to make the presence.
You want to impress.
You want to impress. So I went back because this is not about castigating or putting down anybody. This is really looking at why is there such a disconnect with people who think that these things are beneath them.
Yeah.
Why is this so beneath you? Why?
Because society
sets you up to believe that you need to be here.
Mm-hmm. I agree with him with the Tyler Perry thing, with where the mechanic thing, but I just thought of how they portrayed men in general
in Tyler Perry movies. Yeah,
not just in Tyler Perry movies, in society.
Yeah, certainly in white society too. They have their own.
Yeah.
But I rarely hear
Bundy, Married with Children. He looked like a fool.
Right,
Homer
right.
Simpson
That's true.
looked like a fool.
Yeah.
Peter Griffin was made.
But the interesting thing is that specifically when it comes to black people and the trades, I was just talking to Angelo. He's Puerto Rican. Him and I were talking, and he was like, "Man, ain't a lot of brothers in this." And I was like, "Yeah." So he's like, "We don't see a lot of brothers in this." He's real cool, man.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of the guys that we sub to. And he found out I was from Trinidad. And he's like,
that's why you do this.
You're a Trini.
You're not a real black.
So we started talking, and I was like, yeah. I guess it's not glamorous. But like I said, the reason I'm saying it like this is because I was saying this to my wife. I was like, there is so much interest in this power couple thing. That you can't build anything. You have to come ready.
Yeah.
You have to bring the house already. You know what I mean? It's like you can't even have a vision.
Yeah.
Is it built?
Right.
And so we're copying celebrities. We're copying political pundits with figureheads. And we're trying to emulate that because that's the only way you will get your flowers per se. You know what I mean? So
well, again, we talk about idolatry. That's what that is.
That's what
that's exactly what that is.
Exactly.
But if you think about idolatry, it's image, right? And it's mirroring that image. And this is something that we do as instinctively as babies, right? We mirror our parents, right? And again, that's connected to love. It's connected to trust. So what's at the root of a lot of things? It's deception to trust in something because you don't have a core trust in your own family life. When you have family that is strong in the love of God, you're not going to just step out. You trust what your parents say because they are in the love of God. So you're not just going to step out and trust seeing a Jay-Z.
It's not going to impress you.
Seeing Beyonce, Jay-Z, it's not going to impress you.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't matter what they say and they're doing this, they're doing that. No, this is my dad.
Yeah.
My dad, I know my dad loves me. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
the foundation is
again,
missing.
It goes back to our family. Something I heard, dude, that was really cool. about like why you receive wealth, right? Talk about value, worth. Well, it's all comes from faith. What is the most valuable thing? It's trust. Think about it, because if you don't have trust, nobody will give you anything. Give you a look, give you understanding. I mean, they won't give you their money. They're not going to give you their time. They're not going to give you.
That's what they used to call banks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not going to give you their attention.
Banks.
Right? But there's this story of Joseph. Not the Joseph from the Old Testament where people look at a lot of time as wealth, but Joseph of Arimathea in the New Testament, right? And this Joseph, here's what's interesting. He provided for Jesus at his most vulnerable. And that's powerful to me. At his body's most vulnerable, his wealth provided he provided a tomb for his body, right? And I think this is what we should be looking at. God wants us. He says, if you do this to, what is it? He says, if you do this to them, it's like you've done it to me, right? If you give it to them, it's like you've done it to me. The least of these.
Yeah.
It's when we're at the most vulnerable. Are we gonna pick people apart? Or are we gonna come to them and say, "Hey, man, I've been there," or I get where you're coming from. I get what you're dealing with right now. You know, people who don't have fathers, people who are literally the image of everything wrong in the world. But can you talk to them and can you I get it, man, but there's another way.
Yeah.
Like, are we gonna just be, or are we gonna say no? There's still hope there. You know what I'm saying? And how many men are so vulnerable, but they're covering it all up with facades in this, especially black men.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, especially like how many men, not just black men. But I'm just saying that because we were talking about. But
yeah, the bravado.
How many? Yeah, the bravado of it. How many of us are trying to cover up by looking a certain way, seeming a certain way, right?
Yeah.
But really, we're struggling.
Yeah.
Inside, we're dealing with a lot.
It's gonna take men like other men who are on the right path to see them, because I do it. I'll stop and I'll talk to, if I see men, not just black men, but if I see young men, in my travels in Home Depot or Lowe's, and especially if they ask me a question, if they see me and hey man, what do I do with this, and I'll be like, what do you do? I'll start talking to them.
Yeah.
And I'll ask them questions, and just to give him a little insight. Man, you ever thought about the trades? I just met this young man. He works at Wawa up here, and he's real nice. He's very polite. And I asked him, I said, have you ever thought about something a little bit more than this? And he said, like what? I said, the trades. And he's like, no, not really. I was like, would you be interested? And he said, yeah. So I gave him my number. I said, I'm gonna put it on you.
Yeah.
You call me. I'm not gonna call you. You call me.
Right.
So it's been a couple of days. I haven't heard from him, but I think it's part of that is slowing down and interacting with people.
Yeah, and being willing to
be
that mentor and reach out. Yeah,
and help. You know, what I mean,
absolutely.
This is one kid that he works with my other company, and for a while I wasn't too favorable of him. But his life path changed. Him and his father got into a physical altercation, unwarranted, and he opened up to me, and and I pulled him aside when I said, listen, I said, man, dude, you're on your phone a lot, man.
Yeah.
I said, you got to get off your phone. We got to get this done. And he tried to give me a little attitude, and I said, you're upset right now, so you're trying to get back at me. I said, so I know what that is. Anyway, fast forward, we hadn't worked together for a while, and I found out what was happening with his father. He's from Camden, and I said, "Listen, you need to get out of the environment."
Mm-hmm.
But I started to give him a little side work because I'm doing side work, and I started to give him. And I came back. Now, he there's some laziness in him, but I gave him a job to do, and I came back and it was done. And I said to him, I said, "This is what I need from you." I said, "This is it." I said, "If you could do this," I said, "I could trust you, and I can give you things on your own. I could just say, hey, go there. Here's some tools. Go do this." So he actually came along and he helped me on my sister's project.
Wow, that's cool.
You know what I mean? And I've been talking to him. I've been actually, part of it too is there's another guy that got hired that was really hard on him. And he saw that I wasn't as hard on him. And I said, it took all of that for you to see.
Yeah.
Because that guy cursed at him.
Right.
And called him that guy's really rough.
Yeah.
And I was like, you see, it took all of that for you to recognize kindness.
Yeah. But that right there is, that's that thing that it's about trust, right?
Yeah.
Like, how do I trust this guy? It takes time.
It does take time.
Especially when you grew up in trauma, like clearly.
He
you
did.
Know what I mean?
He did. And he came to me, he talked to me. And he said, oh man, thanks so much. I was like, listen, all I'm asking you to do is I want the best from you. I was like, at the end of this job, what do you expect from me? And he's like, what do you mean? I was like, well, when we're done this, what are you looking forward for me? He's like, money. I was like, okay. At the start of this, I'm looking for labor and consistency. That's what I'm looking for.
That's the trade-off, yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
I was like, at the end of this, I said, man, I don't have. I
really
like
got
$40
it right now.
man.
Yeah.
I was like, how would you feel if I promised you $150, $200, and I said I got 40, but I get you next time I heat? What would you feel? Would you feel like I shortchanged you? He was like, yeah. He was like, hell yeah, I would, man. And I was like, so why would you not give me your best if you want my best? You know what I mean?
What's crazy though is like even that like. It's not. He's like, what do you want at the end of this? It's really. It shouldn't even be money, because really, it's relationship.
That's too deep for him.
Yeah, that's too deep.
No. I know. I'm going deeper because like really, like the money flows in relationship. Like because when you can trust, if he can trust you, and then you could trust him,
right?
That's a relationship,
right?
They grow, and like now that money will flow. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's what we all are looking for, but we just complicate
the reward.
Yeah.
Right. And the thing that he doesn't understand is if he doesn't work in that way, like he'll still get his end of the bargain, but it'll be done.
That'll be it.
That'll be it.
And if that's all you're looking for, that's all you're gonna get.
Yeah.
Right. Because so recently I told him, I said, bro, here's the thing. I was like I said, he's from Camden. So he has the tattoos, he has the long hair. And I said, listen, I said, I know you're young, because he's 25. I said, I know you're young. I said, but one of the things that we do, because he's like, man, you're really good at talking to customers, man. I was like, part of this job is selling yourself. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying lie to people. I'm saying it's you. They're trusting you in their home. Like when they tell you, hey, here's a key, here's the code, they're trusting you.
Yeah.
If I sell them me and I send you, I broke the trust.
Right.
Right? And I said, and part of that is they may not approve.
Right.
Of, they don't know you. You kind of have a certain look to you. And so we would talk. I was like, I'm not trying to tell you wear a 3-piece suit. I'm just saying you have to understand presentation. And so we're talking. So 2 weeks ago, he came in, his hair was cut. You know,
so he's getting it a little
right.
bit.
He's getting it, and I was like, "Look at you, man!" Really, my boss's dad came to him and said, "Look, man, in order for you to be presentable here, you have to carry yourself this way."
Yeah.
And so I said, "This is what I was telling you."
Yeah.
I was like, "So now you've left the customer feeling integral about the work that we're doing." I was like, "Because when you leave a site like this." I was like, they're going to go check everything now because you've just ruined the confidence here.
Right.
You know? So I've been trying to work with him. I say all that to say this. I went from not liking this kid because he wasn't respecting me to now realizing that it's my attitude that has to change to
100%
help him.
Right.
Because I told Mac, I was like, I don't want to work with that guy, man.
Yeah.
You know, because I did try, but I was frustrated. Mm-hmm. But I realized in the time, you know, it's my approach too. Mm-hmm. It's how I talk to him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like, I'm not trying to father you.
Right.
I'm trying to show you I'm the person in charge of the job, so it's gonna fall on me. Mm-hmm. So, because he would leave, he would just be like, it's 3:00, and he'd just leave everything.
Yeah.
Where are you? Oh, I left. Why? Oh man, I was trying to get home by 3:30. I'm like, okay, so you just leave the site like this? Mm-hmm. And that was kind of his way of saying, well, we'll come back tomorrow. Like, what's the big deal?
Yeah.
We can't leave at people's house like this, man.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So through that, I show him, I said, and then the other thing too was like, when I started to praise him in front of the customers, and I'll be like, Israel had a big part in cleaning up. Israel did a good job. Mm-hmm. Then he sees that. I think that's what a lot of young men need, is they need another man to show them that, look, there's reward in doing a good job.
Right.
Hey, Israel, thank you so much. Now, you're not always going to get a tip, but a lot of times I was like, you're walking away with, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And if I'm there, I'll be like, oh, I'll give it to Israel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right. But if he had the attitude to do the bare minimum and I'm just trying to get my check, all of that.
Right.
Yeah.
I was like, just know, if you leave and I clean up and I get money, you're not getting that.
Yeah.
So now, guess who's sticking around?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I think that's what it is. I think older men, I'm not just saying the trades, in anything, if we could talk to these young men and just show them that, look, man, you're the path you're on is going to lead to way more destruction. Because I was like, you got to get out of this situation. He's finally out of there, him and his father. He's that's another thing too, man. This dude is renting a trailer for $1,000.
Wow.
No credit. 2 evictions.
Wow.
In Camden.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God. But
I think if men can deal with being disrespected for the sake of these kids that don't know how to be respectful, you know,
it's gonna have you have to take it. You don't want to.
It helps the situation. Like I can't tell you how many times like people have like lashed out at me.
Coaching, right?
Yeah. And I've taken it and then I continue and just deal with them logically. You know what I mean? Like walk them through it, and by the end of it, they're like, yeah. You know, but you got to be able to, you got to care. You got to want to get through to them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, you got to care about them. But if you don't, you're just like, man, I'm not dealing with that.
And it takes a humbling of yourself.
Listen, I'm not going to lie. That was my attitude when he didn't want to listen, you know?
Yeah. All right, let's wrap it up there, guys. It's getting late. Appreciate everybody watching. I see Brendan was chiming in the whole time. Appreciate y'all. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Share this video with your friends. Again, if you want to support what we do, if you appreciate these type of conversations, head on over to the Patreon. Link is in the description. You can sign up to become a member over there. Also, we got the Cash App in there as well. You can get merch at the link in the description as well. Get the hats, the t-shirts, hoodies, all that good stuff. And yeah, that's it, man. Next week we got to figure out, because we got a rehearsal on Tuesday, so we got to figure out if we can do another day next week. And if not, we'll see everybody when we see you, man. Peace.
Young Lion, go live, yeah. Young Lion, you rich, yeah. This kingdom